Yeah. Welcome to CEDTalks, where we separate fact from fiction. Mess it up a myth every time. This that set talk, yeah, we set it straight. Cut through the noise, elevate the debate. No pseudo talk, no foggy claims. Just evidence-based when we build these frames. Set talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defiant. They say the ancients had science. Hold up, pause. Knowledge ain't the same as methodological laws. Observation, yeah, but control tests rare. No predictive models, you gotta be fair. We respect the past, but we keep it exact. Precision matters when you deal with facts. Astronomy grew, astrology split. One stayed empirical, one lean myth. The shift came through naturalistic method. Just and revise, that's how we embed it. Not culture bound, not tied to a place. It's a universal tool for the human race. Discuss their talks, yeah, you said it straight. Cut through the noise, elevate the debate. No pseudo talk, no foggy claims. Just evidence-based when we build these frames. Set talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defiance. They blur definitions, start moving the goalposts. Turn fried to a claim that don't hold close. Science ain't on, this a process refined. Independent of culture, space and time. You can't redefine it to fit identity. That's how you lose all epistemic integrity. We test every claim, we don't just believe. If it can't be verified, we don't receive. From early observers to labs today, it's rigor and doubt that pave the way. Not name dropping scholars to win a debate, but data and method that validate. So what's your ideology? That's cool to ask, but truth ain't decided by the loudest class. We question it all, no sacred ground. If it don't hold up, we break it down. This that set pulp, yeah, we live in direct. No fear in the facts, just intellectual respect. No smoke, no mirror, no fantasy, just truth, logic, and consistency. Can you hear me? Mike Tech, Mike Tech, can you hear me? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes, we got problem. Mike Tech, can you hear me? All right, appreciate that. We are back. We have sound. Houston, we have sound. Thank you very much for your patience. All right, like I was saying, let's get back organized here. All right. So I thinking you all didn't hear my opening. So let me start right back from the opening. Science is a way of thinking, much more than it is a body of knowledge. Good afternoon and welcome to another Set Talks. Today we stray away from the philosophy of mind for a bit to address an issue that popped up on us. Before I go in, let me say hello to all those in the chat. Ramon Bears, thank you for being here. Let me say good afternoon to Karen. Goose in the building. Black Sun. Thank you, Black Sun, for letting me know. No sound. Rob Rich in the building. Juju, Pseudo Killer Official in the building. Yep. The sound is back. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the patience. So, like I was saying, during a recent episode over there on the community of skeptics, it was brought to our attention that there might be some misunderstanding in terms of what we mean when we say scientific literacy. Scientific literacy, as I've explained throughout the series, and when we talk about the epistemic regime that we're under, it's a way of processing information. And this way of processing information is not only geared towards molecules and atoms and protons. That's not what scientific literacy is. When we talk about scientific literacy, it's about the fundamental understanding of the world you live in and allows you to navigate, meaning your ability to make the best decisions for yourself, by extension, your family, and by extension, the larger community as a whole. That includes civic duty. Saying the word civic duty, we realized what that word actually entailed was seemed to go over. Shout out to Thunder, particularly Thunder's head, coming in with a whole non sequitur angle to the discussion, which led us, of course, in the Discord. During the Discord is where we do a lot of these deliberations and talk a lot of these things through, right? And so decided it was necessary to tackle this particular issue. And that is why we are here today, right? So without further ado, let's talk about it a little bit and give us a little background before we get into the presentation. So again, set talks, this is where we slow it down. When most people hear the word science, they think of laboratories, equations, microscopes, rockets, and researchers with white lab coats. But science is not something happening that only happens in universities or research centers. Science affects nearly every decision we make: what we eat, what medicine we take, how we spend our money, what information we trust, how we evaluate risk, how we understand the world around us. So today we are going to discuss what is scientific literacy for everyday life, the practical skills that help us navigate a world filled with information, misinformation, advertising, social media, and extraordinary claims. Scientific literacy isn't about becoming a scientist, it's about becoming a better thinker. All right. Don't forget to hit that like button once you get in the building. Right. And of course, where possible, share this on your social media. This is a very necessary discussion. And for those who are going to watch it later on, again, please share the show. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Shooter Killers is here. I implore you to also join, become a subscriber and join the Discord. The Discord is where all the magic happens, as we say.
All right, let me take this down for a second before we get in there. So yeah, this discussion was prompted by the discussion we were having with Thunder, and it is geared towards the way we make decisions, and it is a necessary component, especially when we see uh, um, outcomes that we have. Scientific literacy doesn't guarantee anything, but it equips us with the tools to increase the odds on our side. It is a tool to help us obtain a better outcome overall in a world that is designed and working against us, both naturally and socially. So it is imperative that we hone the skills and use all the tools available to us to get at least to an even playing field as much as possible. Or, in the worst case event, reduce the risk that we face as a society, as individuals, our kids, and the community as a whole. Right? Um, we do our part in in coping and dealing with situations that affect us emotionally. Um, from both angles, this situation, hits home. I've kids, 18-year-old son away at college, and you hope that all the work you put in making sure that they make the right decisions to reduce the risk, you know, you- in moments like this, it becomes real. So then we emphasize, we double down in doing what we do, our contribution, the way I feel I can make a difference and maybe helping the next one, right? Make a better decision or be equipped with the tools to make a better decision. That's why we do what we do. All right. So please come up the show, tell a friend to tell a friend, pseudo killers in the building. And as part of my ritual, as part of my tradition, I gotta play me a jam just to get in that mindset to do what we gotta do. And this couple of days is pseudo killer anthem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm a pseudo killer nigga, and I'm coming for your head. So scammers accountable for the pseudo shit that they spread. Ain't no more running, nigga. I'm pseudos to bed. I'm the boogeyman for these prayers, leaving these streets red. I'm a pseudo killer, pseudo killer, pseudo killer, pseudo killer. No frauds, no fake, no fillers. We straight pseudo killers. Don't flim slammer, hustlers and scammers. We pseudo killers, pseudo killers, pseudo killers, pseudo killer. I'm tired of this talking, niggas steady running their mouth. Beating just on platforms, always loud and wildin' out. They ain't saying nothing, only begging for some clout. When I step in the rain, nigga, mama say knock you out. I'm a pseudo killer, pseudo killer, pseudo killer, pseudo killer. No fraud, no fake, no fillers. We straight pseudo killers, no flip flammer, hustlers and scammers. We pseudo killers, pseudo killers, pseudo killers, pseudo killers. If think you won't smoke, nigga, come and take your shot. It been a long time coming, nigga. Now show us what you got. I ain't trying to be friendly, nigga. Wipe ass off your face. This is war, nigga. Only one way to sin. Say goodbye to net. I'm a pseudo killer, pseudo killer. No cross, no fake, no fillers. We straight pseudo killer. No flip flammer, hustlers and scammers. We pseudo killer, pseudo killer, pseudo killer. Science is
All right, let's get into the presentation. Slide show from beginning. Volume is good. Screen is sharing. Let's go. Set Talk Friday. Scientific literacy for everyday life. Let's go. What is scientific literacy? That seems to be a major question. It is the ability to understand evidence, evaluate claims, recognize reliable information, distinguish facts from opinions, and make informed decisions. That informed decisions. Nowhere here is talking about a microscope, telescope, stethoscope, oscilloscope, or any type of scope. It is about understanding evidence, evaluating claims. What is a claim versus what is a fact? What is a what how do I evaluate what that information that I just got? Recognize reliable information. What is the source of the information that you hold there or that you are alluding to? Distinguish facts from opinion and ultimately make informed decisions. Informed decisions. A scientifically literate person doesn't simply ask, what do I believe? They ask, what is the evidence? How do I support this position that I have? Is it warranted? Is it justified? Where did I get this information? Why do I have this position? What is the evidence? So now, why does scientifically literacy matter now more than ever? Without going to realize that people did not understand simply what and how a vaccine worked. In general, when the reporter asked Fauci if the vaccine was going to prevent you from getting COVID, huh? Vaccine work by training your body to deal once it gets infected. It prevents you from becoming seriously ill or dying. I realized that people didn't understand what body temperature was. Misinformation and disinformation ran rapid because people lack basic scientific literacy. It was my mission since. Today, we live in an information rich environment. Unfortunately, information and truth are not the same. He never claims that the people that come on his channel are presenting the truth. He says they're simply allowed to present their information. It is up to you to have the ability to distinguish whether it's fact from fiction, whether the information has value. Not simply because someone has information mean that it's automatically truth or has value. Every day we encounter social media claims. Oh boy, TikTok gonna drive y'all crazy one of these days. If you follow TikTok, um, the African or indeed in Americas before the Columbian era. Health advice. I am going to pick on Dr. Sebi as he has spawned a whole generation of quacks and general laymen that will sit by a bar and tell me, well, they're preventing mucus buildup. They're staying away from proteins because they have amino acids in them. Regurgitating Dr. Sebi nonsense, permeating throughout communities all over the world. Political messaging. Political messaging. Y'all know better than myself how propaganda, what social media, what foolery did during the last election. You have individuals actually advising people not to engage in their primary civic duty. And we're falling for these political messaging because they play on your emotions. but they have no grounding in actual sociology or political understanding or legal basis. Rhetoric. Y'all fall for it. Financial advice. Shout out to the God Killer. All these get rich quick schemes. Polite. You invest 2,000 and he's going to go and acquire a land acquisition because of the equity funds being proportionate, disproportionate to the sole proprietorship, because you turn yourself into a corporation and the corporation is now responsible for the liquidative assets that is acquired by means of federal oversight. Yeah, yeah. So, so you get this land, and after the time passes and no claim is made on the land, your money is returned and you own the property outright, because there's a hole somewhere that which is smarter than all the lawyers and all the financial experts and all the economic experts and all the people that put these systems in place, you are so much smarter than them that you found the loophole behind the hole that is in the loophole underneath the black hole, suspended by Ma'at, right, with the forces that come from divine energy. That's where y'all want your financial advice from. 90 books, none ever saw one, but 90 books, and you got to invest in the condominiums. Y'all know the financial advice y'all been getting, right? Cryptocurrency, you got to invest with me, and because I got a special return of 520% on the capital gains interest prior to the liquidation assets that would give you a higher return. Ponzi schemes left and right. Hmm? Oh boy. The white the white man. 5G. Special designed biological agent, specially geared towards a super race of melanated folks because they attack the melanin concentrate. Gay agenda. The aliens. Little green men. Roswell. Marketing campaigns. Oh boy. We spend all our money based on what the TV tells us we have to look like, sound like, dress like, eat like, what we don't like, how we like it, when we like it, and if we sure that we like it. Aside on TV, when I saw fidgets, I knew there was nothing they could not convince us that we needed to buy. This is why scientific literacy is important. To know when you're being manipulated, when you're being played with. How do you think? How do you process information? Scientific literacy helps us separate evidence from assertions. Too many of things are asserted in conversations, and you're expected to accept them as if they are evidence. No, they are an assertion. Facts from speculation. Shout out to Ron. Seems to have a hard time separating these two concepts. Expertise from confidence. Y'all prefer the confidence because the confidence is slick. The confidence is reassuring. The confidence speaks every word, articulates every word absolutely correctly. They dress to impress with the money that they scam from you, overemphasizing their credentials or their capabilities without actually having the body of work to show. You're all much more interested in the confidence. That's why individuals like Polite run off with your money over and over again. How much you want to bet he's going to do the same thing? Everyday decisions that are scientific decisions. Your health. Should I take the supplement? How you mean you got a cure for cancer? What type of cancer? How? Where are your clinical trials? What's the concentration of the active component? Let me see that data sheet. Get out of here. Scamming. Nutrition. See, I was traumatized actually when I saw Dr. Sabi supposedly on a stage at UCLA. I know how they do that. They probably rented out the hall and pretended that he was having a college lecture. You know how the scam goes. Acidic foods and anything of an acid nature is bad for you. You must, by all means, stay away from protein because protein has amino acids in it. And you absolutely have to stay away from acquiring amino acids in your diet. If you don't know and understand how dangerous that statement is, the very components that are required to build the proteins that are synthesized in your cells require those amino acids by any means necessary, primarily through a protein rich diet. However, you acquire those proteins, by all means. But to tell a human being they cannot or should not consume amino acids, you're diabolical. Then why? Promoting anti-vax rhetoric during the pandemic. How did you evaluate that information? What were the tools? People fell for it. Technology. Is this product actually better? Can you have a machine that is going to take one drop of your blood and tell you how your kidneys is doing, how your liver is doing, how your overall blood count from a drop of blood? What? That's pseudo. Ali Mohammed. Y'all don't know how long I've been watching y'all pseudo bamboozle our people because of their ignorance to scientific literacy. That's why I'm a pseudo killer. I understood the mission, saw why it was necessary. Finance. What are the risks and probabilities? How do you invest your money? With whom do you invest all your money? I gave him my last $10,000. Brother was on. Y'all remember the story? $10,000 that he got from a will from his grandma. I think Polite took it all. Young brother didn't understand risk. Didn't understand how this thing is done. Uma Johnson, how do you finance a school off donations, bro? How does that work? What's your risk assessment in being able to keep that building afloat based on donations and handouts? None of y'all question that. Let's go. Parenting. What does research say about child development? That's why we have programs on soft parenting over here. Shout out to Juju. Why? What are the benefits? How do you engage with the data? Do you actually want to engage with the data? Do you make an assessment on how you are going to raise your child? Psychology. This is all within the realm of making decisions, everyday decisions. How am I going to parent? It is a question that you should ask yourself. Then you are actively engaging. And then you need resources to determine what is the best method, best approach. How do you get the best results? Each child is different. What does the data say for me to be able to assess, how each individual child is going to be dealt with and raised? How do you communicate with each child? It's not one and all the same. Are you a motivating parent, or are you yeah, you can't ever do that? What type of parent are you? Scientific literacy, everyday decisions. How you parent is a scientific decision, whether you believe it or not. Scientific literacy provides you with tools for evaluating these questions. Mental tools, again, it's a way of thinking, how you process information. I can't say it enough. It is how you process information, and under the epistemic regime we are under, it is how you evaluate claims. The book will soon be out, giving you a rubric and a breakdown of the methodology applied by myself and scientifically literate people in general when addressing particular questions. Within that monograph, I chose to deal with one of the most complicated ones. Is there a soul? Stay tuned for that. It's getting reviewed. And once that review process has taken place, it will be brought to you. Two. So, scientific literacy allows you, teaches you, prepares you to ask better questions. One of the most important habits of learning is you ask, how do we know this? What evidence supports this particular position? Not molecules, not protons, neutrons, not a white lab coat. What evidence supports it? It's a way of thinking. You start to think about evidence and understand that evidence is something different from proof. Let's continue. Who is making the claim? What are their qualifications? How does it match up to the claim they're making? Is he or she really a doctor? as we see now in the community. Again, another fraud claiming the title of doctor. What expertise do they actually have? How qualified are they to be making the claims that they're making about this particular subject? Is there any evidence supporting the claim that they're making? How we know this though? Has the claim been independently verified? Right here, these questions are the questions I asked the owl man. And based on his answers, there was no need to engage with his work. How do you know this? Oh, well, I made it up. I didn't study any philosophy books. What evidence is there supported? The books I wrote based on what I was thinking, no, no, no. Well, I don't have any formal training in philosophy. I don't have any formal understanding of these concepts. And so I am just making it all up as I go. Okay. What expertise verified? No, it can't be independently verified because you made it up. What is there to engage with? Nothing. So instead of going down an unnecessary rabbit hole, you apply these questions. Based on the answers, you already can make a pretty good evaluation of where you need to go with that next. How much time and energy you need or should invest in this concept. The quality of our answers often depend on the quality of the questions. So you got to ask these specific questions to get clarity. And once that clarity is provided, navigate these claims. Anecdotes are not evidence. People naturally trust personal stories. Let me tell you a story. You see that? It automatically draws you in. This supplement cured my arthritis. Let me tell you something. See this supplement right here? I don't know what's in it. But I went to Dr. Sabi after I got 4 injections in my knees 3 days in a row. And when I got to Dr. Sabi on the fourth day with my knee hurting me, especially the site where they gave me the injection, I took his herbs and I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning, my knee wasn't hurting me again. I knew it was the herbs. Didn't you tell me you went to 3 days treatment and got, huh? But I digress. This supplement cured my arthritis. It's a personal story, man. I don't know about you. I don't know what your experience is, but I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. It cured me right up. My blood pressure went, was good, man. Perfect, man. My neighbor invested in crypto. Hey, got rich. I know someone who smoked their whole life and lived to be 100. I ain't gonna die. What you talking about? My neighbor Ramon, he told me that his cousin Raul from Mexico had a friend whose grandpa was 107 and he was rolling his own cigarettes, bruh. What you talking about? Cancer? Uh-uh. Anecdotes, although interesting, well, it can be, but they cannot establish general truth. An anecdote is never a fact or a truth. It's a matter of interpretation. It's so many questions around that. What does this person actually believe themselves? Did this situation actually happen? Is they trying to just win one over for the sake of argument? What is the quality and the value that you give to any particular statement? You need to be able to recognize when these statements are anecdotal. Scientific literacy means understanding that personal experiences can be misleading. This is what scientific literacy entails. So you can distinguish when an anecdote is being proposed and how to incorporate what value to give that statement. Correlation is not causation. This one is such a common error that people make. Science is counterintuitive and it teaches correlation is not causation. People who carry umbrellas are often seen when it rains. Two things occurring together does not prove one caused the other. Y'all get that, right? That shouldn't be too hard. The principle applies everywhere. Health claims, economic claims, social trends, and news stories. Health claims. Man, I took this herb and I felt better. My cousin invested in crypto with Polite, and Polite gave him $1 million return. Social trends eat them, and particularly news stories. How are they framing them? What is the particular angle? What is the bias? How do you vet your sources? Causation is not equal to correlation. May seem so. This event happened, that happened. Hey, they always die in threes. Remember? Bad things always happen in threes. Causation correlation fallacy. Oh boy. Understanding risk. Shout out to the God Killer again. We talked about this over there in the community of skeptics and simulcast with us on in the studios. Humans are notoriously poor at evaluating risk. Think about it. Now, man, I'm young, I'm healthy. I'm gonna take my chances with the virus. Um, the risk of myocarditis by young men, healthy young men, is greater, is a real risk factor. If you get that, it gives you serious complications. And based on your age group, you are higher risk. No, man, I'm strong. I'm gonna fight off this cold. Vaccinated. You see, people getting myocarditis from the vaccine. The few cases that they did have were treated, people were fine. I think maybe one or two people died from the other products tried during the vaccine trials. However, those people that got sick, got myocarditis, they did not die, they recovered and went on the way. If the vaccine produced that mild myocarditis, what do you think would happen if you got the full on blown virus? Because your body reacted the way it would have reacted. It only reacted in a much, much lighter form due to it being the vaccine. But yet you have people telling you they rather take the risk because humans are notoriously poor at evaluating risk. We often fear dramatic but unlikely events while ignoring common risk. Many people fear airplane crashes, shark attacks. I'm going to die from the vaccine. Yet, statistically, they are more likely to be harmed by a poor diet, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, losing our legs, amputation, glaucoma from poor diet, which leads to heart disease and traffic accidents. Compared to a plane crash, traffic accident takes tens of thousands or more lives yearly. We might have an airplane crash once every 20 years. I'll live with those odds. Scientific literacy helps us evaluate actual risk rather than emotional reactions. This is an important point. We tend to react emotional instead of calming ourselves down, applying rationality to the situation, and reaching to the best possible conclusion. Again, during the pandemic, it was the most evident time of the lack of basic scientific literacy throughout the world. I'm not singling out any particular community. Throughout the world, no particular race, human beings. You had those who were scientifically literate and those who weren't. You were split in either one of those camps. Where beware of extraordinary claims. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Or we could do the Hitchinsons. If you don't have extraordinary evidence, your claim can be dismissed offhand. Miracle cures. Late night, 2 o'clock in the morning. Try this product. Is the cure for this thing. I got you got the cure for herpes, for HIV, and for cancer, all in this little brown bag here for the small price of $29.99 plus shipping and handling. And you need 17 batches over the course of the next 5 months. And yeah, perpetual motion machines and ancient alien technologies. I just had to throw these two ones in here for the conscious community. Stop it. The more extraordinary a claim is, the stronger the evidence simply must be. What are probabilities? Do you understand them? This is scientific literacy. Not atoms, not protons, not chemical reactions, not space time. Do you understand what probability is? Life is full of probabilities rather than certainties. A weather forecast is a probability. Medical diagnosis, probabilities, and financial investments. That means you don't have certainties. You need to be able to manage the risk by understanding the probability, the likelihood. Scientific literacy means recognizing that uncertainty is normal. A probability is not a guarantee, nor is uncertainty a sign that knowledge is impossible. Well, it says maybe, most likely. It just says that the evidence points in that direction. It doesn't say we know. It doesn't guarantee. No, we understand probability and then uncertainty. But uncertainty principle doesn't mean I do not have the ability to know a particular fact. Stop it. Scientific literacy means recognizing that uncertainty is normal. Let's touch a little bit on how advertising uses psychology because they understand how humans behave. Testimonials, thousands of satisfied customers. Celebrity endorsement. This is one which irks me the most. Why do we need the opinion of someone that is famous? Are they now an expert in a particular field? Kyrie Irving getting all this attention for the stuff he said as if he is an expert. And I think this is all part of the plan because the powers to be understand why focus on anything that he's saying. He plays basketball, but they allow that position to resonate as if a celebrity equals an expert, to the point that we have to make our experts into celebrities. Shout out to Neil deGrasse Tyson. You got a celebrity who decided that that autism was caused by vaccine, picking up outdated misinformation from a quack researcher, discredited, barred, disbarred, the whole 9 yards. Celebrity status, and we're off to the races. What does she understand about this? Promoting the thimerosal whole thing, Jenny got, yes. You're a celebrity. I didn't know you were a vaccine expert. What? Huh? Fear appeals. If you don't buy this, you may be at risk. Oh boy, those are the worst. Pseudoscientific language. This product has been scientifically proven to reduce the effects of bad weather by 79%. This product is guaranteed scientifically proven to help you sleep better by 99% of the scientists out there who tested this product. This product has been scientifically proven to enhance your cognition by 12.7% if consumed regularly. It's all scientifically proven, scientifically jargon. Oh, this product has been clinically tested and it removes 99.9% bacteria from the surface. How are you doing? Sound familiar? Well, Jim, this is a revolutionary breakthrough in technology. This knife, you see, the ceramic edge is made from silicium germanium quadruple platinum steel, which means it is impenetrable. Once sharpened, Jim, by means of electrophoresis, I'm telling you, this is revolutionary technology. You can get yours today only for the price of 29. For the special offer for those watching right now, this titanium platinum high fidelity blade made with only the finest of minerals coming from a space rock. I'm telling you, this is revolutionary technology, ladies and gentlemen. This is a flim flam. These phrases may sound impressive while conveying little actual information. He ain't say a damn thing. Clinically proven. Oh boy, y'all saw the rats. Y'all saw the rats. Some of y'all saw the double blind experiment. Some of y'all went into placebo land just by the words being said. Right? I know I got you. 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 It has been clinically proven and scientifically tested. That's how I know I got you. Argue with me. Recognizing cognitive biases. Scientific literacy, again, arms you with a set of tools that make you a very dangerous man. You don't want to mess with me. I've got the ability to recognize the power of reason. So right now, before I can gather my thoughts, I would have scrambled halfway across the floor. Because you ain't getting me like that. That ain't happening. And there's no way to override that. That is part of your genetic makeup, part of what makes you human. You recognize how spooked out you are. And you see that reasoning ain't all there. I'm gonna give you a classic example that I had from the moment from the time I was a kid. I could not understand the exuberance that my family would go through for Christmas. And my mom would say, "Yeah, you need to paint the house, Christmas coming. I need new curtains, Christmas coming. Guys, you gotta clean up the yard, Christmas coming. You want this done around the house, Christmas coming." And I, being a sarcastic little kid, when? How we? What time do we go to the airport? What and who is coming? That made no sense to me. Didn't doesn't need to make sense. Doesn't need to be reason, logic. My sparkness is not applicable here. This is just what we do. Like we go all out. It's Christmas. What do you mean? When is it coming? Weird kid. What do you mean? And I'm like, what do you mean Christmas coming? What do you mean? Why is the boy doing all this irrational stuff for a day that has no real significance? The same people are gonna be here. Christmas is not coming from anywhere. But our brains evolved for survival. They did not evolve for perfect reasoning. So by nature, humans can be and act very irrational. Look at shout out to the New York Knicks. Ah, damn. I don't want to get lost, but damn. My point is, y'all celebrating, but y'all destroying the city. We are irrational human beings. They don't mean any harm. There's no malintent. They are just static out of their brains and destroy the city. Montreal. So I'm not being selective. It is done in most European countries, especially with big football games. The chaos is next level. Makes absolutely no sense. But we didn't evolve to reason. We emotion survive in the moment, euphoria. People ain't going, stop. Let's reason together. Hold your hands, stop. Does this make sense? No. We can be happy without destroying the place. That no. So let's look at some of these biases. The first one and the most important one, the confirmation bias. Seeking information that supports existing beliefs. Now, when you become scientifically literate, anything you believe too quickly, too fast, you find a way to falsify it. I am wanting to read everything, hear every opinion that is opposite to this thing, to this position I hold. And I'm evaluating the rationality, the soundness, and the actuality of those other positions. So my scientific literacy needs to be applied there too, to be able to extract the value of that information to oppose it to my particular position. You need to falsify your own position. That will teach you to not go and automatically start for looking for things that corroborate your position. That's too easy. That's why y'all keep getting beat up. Shh, don't tell nobody. Y'all pseudos get beat up because y'all engage in confirmation bias structurally. Too easy to beat. Availability bias, overestimating memorable events. That's when your anecdotal claims come into account. Well, I know because who of Emily, whose friend had a seizure. A seizure. Yes, he had a seizure. She was there trembling in the seizure. And then Robert told me that Nancy told him that Stephanie grabbed her toes, pulled on her toes, and it was over. He got up, went about his business, finished his food. I tell you, you need to pull them toes. That big seizure. Stop giving them no medicine. That medicine giving them them seizures. I'm telling you, you got to pull on them toes. Pattern seeking. I heard Fibonacci sequence on the other show the other night. It's all over the world, all over the universe, and it's some divine whatever. That's our minds. There ain't no Venus constellation in the sky. It's not a thing. It's humans seeing a pattern, recognizing a pattern. It's been a minute since I did the clouds thing, but I was pretty good at it, getting faces in the clouds. It's part of being a human. See patterns where there aren't none. You go down rabbit holes connecting dots that are not there. If you don't slow down that process, a lot of the time that could lead you to a bad outcome. You assume one thing, you see, and you attach it there. Oh, really? Yeah. Boop. And before you know it, you have a war with someone in your head that don't know you are alive. It's on now because you connected some dots without the ability to recognize, hey, that's a human tendency. There are other questions I need to ask before I succumb to these emotional reactive states. Scientific literacy, again, helps us recognize these mental shortcuts. I'm not saying you are becoming a superhuman and you can now not respond, behave, or act like this. These are part of who you are. Scientific literacy, again, helps you to recognize, helps you to circumvent, puts you in a better position to make a decision. Am I sure he was laughing at me? Something funny happened. Does he have an earphone in? You see the questions you start to ask? By the time you start to ask those questions to yourself, you're already getting off the idea that it was you because you're already exploring other possibilities. There's no way that you are going, oh, what are you looking at me like that for? I'm not going to, because you recognize that pattern that is happening. Social media and misinformation. Oh, boy. Modern misinformation spreads rapidly. Again, pandemic, pandemic. A claim may become popular because it is emotional. They're trying to kill us. They're weaponizing the whole none of that against us. And don't they? No. Appeal to your emotion. Shock. Over whooping the various reporting system. Oh, 575,000 people reported to have their toe bruised after taking the vaccine. Yeah, they catch us with this one a lot. The entertainment. A lot of information, misinformation, is an entertainment. And when I say entertainment, I'm going to go straight to Ancient Aliens, Chariot of the Gods, Graham Hancock. They will tell you the entertainment, but present it as if this historical fact. And the more they repeat it, the quicker it spreads and the quicker it holds root because people do not understand what and how they're being manipulated. So now, popularity isn't evident. I started on TikTok, I got 100 million views. Scientific literacy requires evaluating claims independently of how often they are repeated. I don't care who said it. I don't care which celebrity said it. It's all over there. I don't care. What's the value of the information? Let's go through the steps. Let's run it through the rubric. Let's start. Who's making this claim? Where is it written? Is this a reliable source? Is there other corroborating evidence? Is there other news outlet reporting this? Oh boy, the hits keep coming. Either we get a false appeal to authority. Well, so and so doctor said it. Does he have public work, published work, peer reviewed? Okay. What does the consensus in the field say about his work since it's been reviewed? Oh, a fringe, speculative. So it's not a fact. It's not established science. So why are you interjecting it into the conversation? You're just appealing to authority. Or the pseudo killers, when probably using sources, we understand the information. We don't just bring it, oh, this is what this. No, you go through the process of vetting the information, checking it out, because you don't follow them blindly. We're skeptics. Scientific literacy does not mean becoming an expert in everything. It means understanding how expertise work and the good questions that needed to ask. And these include the following questions. What is the personal field of expertise? Is the claim he's making based on his work in that field? Yes or no? What is the consensus amongst the specialists in that particular field? Two things about the information that is being provided by this particular source, if possible, and what the consensus actually says about this particular narrative, position, or phenomena in the field. What evidence supports the claim? Evidence, not a theorem, not a hypothesis, not a, well, he thinks so based on him thinking this, and because he thinks this, that might be the evidence. Trust should be earned through evidence and competence, not just by blindly following and regurgitating the position of a quote unquote expert that hasn't produced any data in the field and giving you his metaphysical or his philosophical assertions at best. Science. So many people imagine science as a giant book of answers. We're going to just go access science. Science is actually a method of reducing error. Shout out to space, to Anthony, the galaxy and beyond, space age Africa. We reiterate this position over and 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 over. Many people imagine science as a giant book of answers. Science is actually a method of reducing errors. Its strength comes from the following: testing, verification, peer review, replication, and self correction. This is what makes science the process. I am asking you, and this whole conversation was about scientific literacy. You need not test, You must verify. You do not need to peer review or do replication. There is no need for you to execute any correction to the data or whatnot. What you would need to do is add a self correction, verify the data, maybe understanding the testing method. But this is what is required for science to function. It's a process. The willingness to revise conclusion is one of science's greatest strength. So every time y'all think because science is willing to change, that makes it's valuable and no good. No, that's a wrong position to take. Traits of scientific literacy, of scientifically literate people, is humility. The ability to say, I don't know, I'm not sure, I'm wrong. Let's go see what the data says. Being scientifically literate means being comfortable saying, I don't know. The evidence is unclear. Last night, we had a beautiful demonstration of that humility on display. Black holes, we don't know. Anthony stayed right there, which forced the conversation to clarify speculation. Gary and I were engaging in speculation, right? And because Anthony stood firm, intellectual humility, I do not know, it forced us to adopt the same speculative concept. We are speculating. We don't know. The evidence isn't clear. I was mistaken. I said such and such and such, and I was wrong. That had to be so and so and so. We don't have a problem doing that. Y'all seen it several occasions. It's not an ego thing. My opinion changed. We saw during the evolution or the history of science, back and forth with the barbershop boys. Chef did one of the most scientifically illiterate things I've ever seen. He insisted on going back in the archives, pulling up what he said then and what his position was, and he betrayed the people because he changed his mind. You big dummy. I'm supposed to, with new evidence, with better understanding of the data, with becoming more scientifically literate, you can evaluate what you were saying wrong, where you had mistakes, and you make that correction and you keep it moving because that is growth. But no, you want me to be stuck right here, say the same thing I said 20 years ago because that is comfortable to you, not because the data and the evidence support it. Can't change my mind. No intellectual humility. But these are all the things that scientific literacy brings to the table. Let's continue. We're almost there. Changing your mind is changing your mind in response to evidence is not weakness. It's intellectual growth. Practical scientific literacy checklist. These are this page. What is the evidence? Has it been independently verified? Could it be tested? Are experts convinced? Is it wrong? These are the questions I ran by the owl's position. Came up short with each one of them. What is the evidence? Well, it's a metaphysical assertion. Is how I think. No evidence. Okay. Has it been independently verified? No. Could it be tested? No. I made it up. How are you going to test something I made up? Are experts convinced? No. Is there another explanation? Well, if you're redoing space time, then I'll just stick to Einstein's special and general relativity. Why would I need to engage in that? What will prove it wrong? It's unfalsifiable. You made it up. You create your own definitions. How am I going to prove it wrong? Yeah, so since it can't be falsified, then I'm not interested. You're disqualified by means of these questions. Just practicality. Scientific literacy and democracy. Civic duty. Scientific literacy is not merely a personal skill, it's a civic necessity. Thunder. Modern societies make decisions about, look here, public health, pandemic, climate, technology, what we're going to do with AI, etc. Education, how we structure our education. We complain about the poor education in our communities. What are your civic responsibility? How are you handling that? Are you part of the PTA at your school? Are you part of the fundraising committee? How do you engage with the civic duty required to improve the education? How do you address, and of course, for infrastructure of your community, desert, food deserts, etc. No green in the areas, no playgrounds. And are better equipped to practice to participate in informed decision making. And once you are engaged in informed decision making, you, you see throughout this whole presentation the many areas in which it allows you to make it allows you to manage that risk by understanding risk management. To conclusion, scientific literacy is not about memorizing scientific. How we develop the thought process and handle and navigate situation. The brain is a muscle that you must exercise so it to be ordered to perform when necessary. So scientific literacy is learning to ask questions, evaluate evidence, recognize biases, understand uncertainty, ultimately help you make better decisions. And that's the ultimate goal here. If all of us are collectively making better decisions, we automatically are moving our society. Always have outliers. You will always have the the situations that are just on unjust or like, like no justice. That's a reality. But if we equip ourselves with these tools, we simply in everyday life scientifically doesn't perfect decisions, but it dramatically improves our ability to distinguish reliable information from persuasive nonsense. The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool. Richard Feynman. That has been the presentation for today. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope we have now grounded what scientific literacy is in this community. And I am going to drop the link. Of course, it is Friday. You're going to get it in, have a conversation about this There we go. The sound was bad again? Oh, man. I dropped the link in the chat. The link is in the back. Get up here. Let's talk about it. This is what we mean when we talk about scientific literacy, ladies and gentlemen. It is not about molecules and atoms. It's about how we make decisions in our daily lives. What tools do you employ to give you the best outcome? I am not on the Wi-Fi. I'm on a hard data line. So I'm sorry if the okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on a hard data line. So but there's a little bit of weather in the air. So in the Caribbean, but I'm on a hard line. So sorry about that. But I hope the presentation overall was pretty clear and you understand what we're actually talking about when we talk about scientific literacy. It's informed decision making to navigate a world that is complex, that requires navigating um, political biases, social biases, economic biases, and there are some tools that you are required to have to be able to actually accomplish these. With these tools, your overall decision making improves dramatically, right? And it is reducing or improving our chances for a positive outcome. That's all we have, right? Probability is a thing. Certainty is not a part of life. So what you do is arm yourself the best way possible with the best tools that are going to help you navigate the difficulties that are out there. And that is what scientific literacy is. All these philosophy of science, philosophy of mind, engaging in how we think, because this is what necessary. Not what you think, how you think. After that, you are going to inject all the thoughts you need and evaluate them for self, right? But the job requires you to be scientific literate in this day, in this modern day, in this modern age. The link is in the chat.
Hit the button. Hit the button, show. Hit the button, yo. Chasing pseudo, yo. There they go. We killing pseudo, though. Hit the button, show. Where them niggas go? They running, yo. It's the hit the button show. Where the pseudo go? They running, yo. Just hit the button, yo. Where the pseudos go? They thought the killers putting on a show, though. That's how it goes. It's about what you know, and that'll show. But where they go? Pseudos running, yo. Pseudo killers in this bitch. Hit the button. Hit the button, show. Hit the button, yo. Chasing pseudo, yo. There they go. We killing pseudo, though. Hit the button, show. Where them niggas go? They running, yo. It's the hit the button show. Where the pseudo go? They running, yo. Just hit the button, yo. Where the pseudos go? They thought the killers putting on a show, though. That's how it goes. It's about what you know, and that'll show. But where they go? Pseudos running, yo. Pseudo killers in this bitch. Hit the button. Hit the button, show. Hit the button. button, yo. Chasing pseudo, yo. There they go. We killing pseudo though. Hit the button, show. Where them niggas go? They running, yo. It's the hit the button show. Where the pseudo go? They running, yo. Just hit the button, yo.
Yeah, hit the button. Get up here. Let's talk about it. Scientific literacy. This is the vaccine against the charlatans, scammers, hustlers, and hoodwinkers in our community. It is not only that, it is a tool required for you to make everyday decisions, your parenting skills, your financial literacy, your civic duty. All of it is tied up in how we think. Scientific literacy is the way in which you think. It is how you process information. Peace, Lex, my brother. What's goody?
What's going on? Said, did you see my question in the chat?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. Could you go
I
ahead
was
and ask?
asking, is scientific literacy a modern day concept for survival, or did the ancients also need scientific literacy in the past for survival?
So, if you follow the series that we did, the history of science, you see that we went through different epistemic regimes, right? Earliest of our ways of understanding and engaging with nature was in a more animistic way, whereby nature itself had intent, right? The plants, the trees, all were divine, all had agency, all operated with intent. As we develop, you realize that the Egyptians, for example, represented the most sophisticated form of this animism, right? Because of their complete structuring of this mythological philosophy, right? This was their epistemic regime. The Greeks entertained that for a bit, the earlier days, and then you saw a move back towards nature, that nature was the agent itself, so no supernatural agencies outside of nature. As we continue to develop to the point that we got modern day science. Now, each epistemic regime produced its technology, right? And for us to engage with our modern societal technology and development, it is paramount that we use scientific literacy. So it is our responsibility because of the epistemic regime that we are under currently. We require scientific literacy.
Okay,
Would
okay.
you
One
agree?
more question. Yeah, I definitely agree. I want to know. You speak about the epistemic, like the. I think that you said there's a moment in time when it was like this epistemic change in science. What time period was that?
When we talk about epistemic regimes, we are talking about the particular framework of any given period in history, by which means their data and their information was produced. So when we look at the scientific
I'm talking about
revolution,
methodological
yeah,
naturalism
so
specifically. Yeah.
that process took a couple hundred years to fully develop, right? So you see, we get all into the modern 20th century with Karl Popper and Thomas Kuhn still adding components to this system. But it was at the point of the discovery of the New World, right? You need to realize when the sailors left, they left with maps that had three continents on it. They had no idea of a new world, right? Even though they had a conceptualization of the world being round, they thought if people lived on the other side, they would walk upside down. It was preposterous to even suggest such a thing. Their method of acquiring information was through scholasticism, going back to what Aristotle thought, what Plato thought, right? This was the foundation of understanding in the epistemic regime for almost 2,000 years. It fell apart by the discovery of the New World, forced the development of a new framework. And that framework became the scientific method under the philosophical framework of methodological naturalism, which excludes supernatural agency. So it grounds it in empiricism, hard empiricism. So it is around
Is
the
there a? Can you hear me?
yeah, it's the turn of it's 1495,
Is there a
1500.
moment in time though, like
No, nothing is a specific moment of
around
time.
when?
Everything is gradual, right? So there's a gradual
Well,
development.
okay, I got it. And it starts in
1493.
like what, the 1500s?
Yeah, 1500 approximately. Yeah.
Okay.
God killer.
Because I asked that not to
What's
be
up?
contentious, because it was all the way into the 1700s where they still had the scientific racism going under what they call methodological naturalism.
Let me answer
Um,
that. Let me answer that, Cedric.
go ahead.
Of course. Yeah, of course, bro. It was science don't stop you from being racist at all. And they wasn't obviously they wasn't applying the scientific method, right? Because they got it all wrong. And it was pseudoscience. And the reason we know it was pseudoscience and bad science, right? Because we can look at it. And we can tell that's not based on any scientific data that will verify that based off the color of your skin that you should be mistreated. So you're absolutely right. That's all occurring during the same time period. So there you have it. There you go. You're absolutely right there. Thanks for bringing that up.
You also have the period of the early the late 1800s, 1900s, where you were getting all this spooked out mysticism being framed under science. You had all this psychoanalysis being done that was unfalsifiable, right? So we know the history of pseudoscience, and that self-correcting aspect of science is what makes that phenomena so unique. Science itself highlights, points out, and illustrates these pseudoscientific systems.
Question, Cedric. Question for you.
Mhm.
I think we can all agree that we have a scientific method right now, well established, correct?
Yes, sir.
Producing scientific theories, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
Do we still have people practicing pseudoscience, though?
Yes, sir.
Ah, there you go. So the two do exist, and they can coexist. But the
Yes,
only reason you know it's pseudoscience because we actually have science.
yes. Humans will continue to be humans, make stuff up. And that's why scientific literacy is important, especially in a day and age where technology is what it is, that people could boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. It is much more paramount that you are grounded in the scientific method or scientific literacy, which allows you to navigate reality. Again, this presentation I didn't mention a molecule. I didn't talk about a reaction. I didn't mention a microscope. All right. We were talking about civic responsibility, financial awareness, your health, nutrition, parenting. That's the focus of scientific literacy. Do I go, the medication? Do you understand what it does? You're giving this to your child. Do they need to eat? How much do they need to eat? Do they need to rest after? Can you combine it with other stuff? This is for the well-being of your family, that you understand you need to ask these questions. And maybe not these specific questions, but the fact that you need to ask questions. What kind of questions? Frame it. And the more you engage in this exercise, the better equipped you are at making decisions. That's why there was a group of people that navigated the pandemic with relative ease, and there were those that were panicking and buying toilet paper.
Cedric, can you still have your spiritual beliefs and your
Yes,
religion intact, yo? The
yes,
science getting away of that at all?
no.
Not unless you try to, add some science.
Yes. When you try to merge them, confuse them, or try to use one to establish the other, Now you're creating a problem for yourself,
Yeah.
because I keep telling people I believe I can fly. The day I start to now try and defy gravity or produce lift by means of my arms, we have a problem. Then I've taken my belief and crossed it over into the natural world, which is simply that is not possible. We also illustrate. You go to St. Jude's Hospital. St. Jude is a religious person. The hospital itself was dedicated by nurses, by the church, by the doc, by the heart, by religious institution. Yet the doctor isn't praying over the patients. He's applying methodological naturalism. He's using stethoscope. He's running blood analysis. He's getting diagnostics done. They're using anesthesia to do surgeries, right? So the two can coexist. We do not promote or from a pseudo killer or community of skeptic platform, we are not actively engaging in deconstructing religion. We state we are atheists. This is how we engage with the natural world from empiricism, from physicalism, and we apply methodological naturalism. That does not mean that you are not allowed to have your spiritual or religious beliefs. That the two can coexist as long as you have the discipline to separate them. Make sure you take the vaccine and then pray.
Couldn't stop him anyway, huh? So yeah, says you got. I think that question that Lex asked a couple minutes ago when he was asked you for the time period of the epistemic regime, and I think it's important to realize that nothing is like a monolith. It's not a one thing when they say boom go right.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have you're gonna have people that's there, people that's not. It's when you start bringing the whole thing together and organizations and universities and systems start to be formulated and then you get that. And so I like the way we're talking about it. It's a way of gathering knowledge. Now, that's not to say that prior to that there wasn't any knowledge. That would be fundamentally false to say
Yes.
that. What we're saying is that accumulated a lot of knowledge from around the world, and there was only one group at the time that actually went around the world. We could be able to see that and could write letters back and forth and to make these determinations of, well, we got plants here. Well, let's take these plants from Africa. Well, how about South America? Yeah, let's study it. Let's do it. Oh, well, how about here? What do you see over there? It's only one group of individuals that could do that. And
Hmm.
that's those that was colonizing. And there's only one group that had actually send the Bible around the world, right? Think about that. The printing press, they print these documents out, the biblical text, and there's only one group that could actually take it around the world. And so we forget these things, right? And we forget how they discovered America, luckily. And we put it all together in our head, and people take advantage of us not understanding the parameters of what we're teaching, and it becomes a quote unquote S show. Y'all know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah, come on, man. It's not even that hard, yo. It's not, bro.
No, it isn't that hard. Um, but it is something still that we have to do. We realize that we use particular vocabulary quite easy, and we synthesize that information based on understanding that vocabulary. And but we have to bring it to the community, and we realize Thunder wasn't being facetious. He really
I ain't
was
know.
as to
Yeah,
what we were
see.
talking about. He really did it. So when
Yeah,
you said
see.
we've been doing our job properly, okay, maybe not. So let's slow it down and
Yeah,
re-emphasize because, like you said, there's always someone new coming on board. And if you're in the classroom, you will have to teach the same curriculum to the new group coming in
yeah.
year after year after year. And
Yeah,
if we
better.
take on this responsibility, this is simply what we got to do. So, okay, so now for the next 3 months, I do not want to hear that you don't understand what scientific literacy is. Maybe next year
Yeah.
again.
What did he try
Hey,
to?
can I
What did
share
he try to
something with
use the
y'all?
age of enlightenment? Didn't he try to use that against us? That was crazy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lex. What's up?
Go ahead,
My
Lex.
biggest issue in the past with blind evolution was the
Mm-hmm.
so-called fixed laws in the universe. So I had it out with my physics teacher,
Did
and
you?
the way she tried to explain it was, she said those laws were just the default of. She said, picture a ball rolling down the hill,
Mm-hmm.
and when it's rolling down the hill, it got all these ways to go. If it
Mm.
goes this way, when it hits the edge or whatever which way it's go,
Mm.
that's how the laws get fixed. It was just a path that, after the Big Bang or whatever, all these possibilities took place. This is just a path. This is
Yeah,
how
that's
she
deep.
tried to explain it to me. I just want to think what y'all thought. She said it's just a
Yeah.
path that, it just happened to go, and then that becomes the fixed law.
You don't get that? You know what she was saying to you, right? She was basically saying it wasn't like a guided thing to get there. You
Randomness.
yeah, right.
All,
Yeah, bro.
although the four
That's all she
fundamental
said.
forces work the way they work, right, which is the fixed laws, I agree with you. The randomness is what you need to take into account.
Yeah.
Even though you have the fixed laws, right, they are going to, that's why predeterminism is not a thing. Once we have the parameters or the variables in play, once those are fixed, the outcome is determined. Why? They are going to operate under the four fundamental forces the way they do. They're going to react the way they do. But it all depends. How much do you have of X? How much time do you have? Do you have the right temperature? Do you have sufficient Y? Do you need a Q in there? Right? And how much Q do you need? All this is random. And that randomness is what was the confusion. That's what makes evolution blind. That randomness, those variables that you cannot account for, right? A meteor, everything is fine until a meteor hits and disrupts the climate structure, killing off XYZ, forcing putting these particular pressures in the environment, which leads to the development of XYZ, but the extinction of A, B, and C, right? That's the randomness that you cannot account for. A flood
Exactly.
happens, change the direction of the river, right? Which has consequences X, Y, Z, which you could not account for. So that's the randomness within the fundamental forces.
Let me see if I can wrap my brain. I'm trying to figure out what you were saying as opposed to what Lex was saying. I thought Lex was talking about how the laws of physics came around and how it was random and
Yeah, I was.
how ball rolls it essentially right? Where it stops, and based off the where it stopped at, that's how we developed the law. It could have went another way, and we would either figure out that particular law or not. So it's not like it's guided to a particular law. I kind of understood that example, yo, that she gave you. You might not
Yeah.
understand it, but I did. I think Cedric applied the randomness to evolution in the same type of manner. Basically, I'll give you something that made me really get it, Lex. Imagine if viruses and pathogens had a set path to kill you, bro. Then
Mm.
your ass be dead, yo. It's the randomness and the constant shuffling that does not allow disease to wipe us all out, yo, because it's so random. If it was one way to get us, then life always wants to survive. Then we would be got because you can go straight to it.
Yep.
It's the randomness. It's the almost good enough. See, people think that evolution is saying that yes, that's perfect. No, no, no. Yeah, the way our back is constructed works good enough, but I swear it's a horrible design. That's why we all got back pain at a certain age
Yep.
because it's not a very good design at all. And if a
Nope.
person was designing it, you would never design it that way. You would never design it that way because it's wild. It just works good enough. So we can walk our hips, right? So we can walk just good enough, right? So it's not design, that wouldn't be an intelligent design. That'd be a crazy design. The way we designed is a crazy design, yo. It ain't even, yeah, it don't make sense sometimes, but it worked good enough, yo. So I mean, I I can't make it more clear for people. I think you've been around long enough on both sides of the equation to hear both sides of the equation that at a certain point, yo, you could really lay that shit down for real, yo. You could put it down. Cause
Yeah,
you could. Huh?
AI, AI. I'm heavy in the AI, bro, and
Okay. Uh-huh.
AI helped me understand emergent consciousness because I used to
Mm.
think that was a ridiculous concept,
Did you?
but
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh.
it just doesn't, well, you can't consciousness out of matter is just,
You don't get it.
but
Uh.
with AI, but no, I'm gonna tell you, with AI, the neural network, that's how it works.
Mm.
So what they do, they feed the system all the human knowledge that's ever been in existence. They pour
Uh.
it into AI,
Mm-hmm.
right? What the AI does is each piece of information is given a mathematical number.
Mm.
It's not AIs do not have a database of information.
Mm.
All the information is put in mathematical calculations. So how big the world is round, like there's no database that AI goes and says, I'm trying to find out how big the earth is. It's all in a mathematical algorithm.
Mm.
Through those mathematical algorithms, the complexity, that's why they call it a neural network. It works like the brain.
Mm.
All these mathematical calculations. But see, the thing about it is they don't even know what's in AI. They call it the black box effects because so they gave it all this information, right?
Mm.
And then they give it a half a sentence. They say,
Mm.
see if you can predict the next word. And they
Mm.
keep doing that over and over. It's called reinforcement learning.
Mm.
And then one day, AI just wakes up. It knows French, Spanish, Chinese, math, geometry. This is not programmed. AI is grown like a child. It's not coding. So it consciousness, the intelligence emerged. It wasn't programmed. They don't like that's why AI is so controversial because nobody knows how it works. It's almost like the brain, how we don't know what synapse is firing, what information is in cell. It's just a scrambled kind of
Yep.
mathematical calculation. And
I agree with that.
out of that complexity emerges AI. So that's how I can kind of equate
Mm.
consciousness now being emergent.
Okay. You gotta use to get you where you're going. That's what I always say, Cedric. Shit, yeah, that makes sense though. Now I don't understand the integral things about AI at all. So that's interesting how you put that. Very interesting, but
Yeah, a lot
that's
of
very
people
good.
don't know AI is not a code. AI is
Mm,
grown.
mm,
It's a
mm. Say that
brain.
again.
They create a brain. They don't, it's not like somebody wrote, okay, in regular code, it's if and then statements. If you turn right, then go left. If it's two, multiply it times three. It then, if it's multiplied by three, divided by two. That's if and then statements that a programmer like myself, well, I'm becoming a pretty good one. I'm still a mediocre, would have to every step every has to be pro in AI. Nobody programmed that. That just awoke like Frankenstein. Like they put the body together and put electricity to it, and it awakens.
Mm.
So that's why I said I can relate it to seeing that if we look at the universe the same way as we look at a brain, if you look at all the complexity,
Mm-hmm.
billions of light stars, all these connections, electron product, we can equivalent that to a neural network. And through all that complexity, is what brings about, in a sense, we can say God who didn't create anything, God emerged out of the creation. Which I'm just saying, for lack of a better word, in
I
terms
see
of,
it.
we talk about consciousness,
I see
self-awareness,
it.
and intelligence.
I said the black box effect describes a situation where you know the inputs and outputs of a system, but the internal processes, how the system actually makes decisions of and or functions is hidden. I got you. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm driving. I don't want to do too much. and unexplained or completely
Right.
unexplained. I said, I got you.
So
I
that's
said,
why
somebody just
AI is
sent
so
that to me.
controversial.
Okay.
AI is so controversial because people, we don't know. It's almost like a child. You know how you one day you say, "Boy, where you get that from? Who
Uh-huh.
taught you that?" That's how AI operates. We don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah,
So that's
opaque.
an
I figured
emergent.
hidden or opaque or completely understand. I got you. Yeah, yeah. Big up to Miss Tiff for sending that bit of information. Yep.
So
Want to confirm what you're saying. So yeah, you're right about the AI. That's an excellent description. Now we see where your
it's an
strong area
emergent
is.
property.
Yeah, we see that. And you know, so you just taught a lot of people on that though, bro. You know that, right?
What do you mean?
The way you just explained it, yo, was very, very coherent. And people can look at something, look at AI and see how that work and picture it in their mind and then picture how consciousness emerges. The same way you got it. A
Right.
lot of other people gonna get that.
So so what you're alluding to is predictive modeling. That is something that our brain does as well. Um, the AI and the human brain is not one for one the same. The human brain, for example, is not just running calculation. AI has predictive modeling built into it. So the more it engages, the better it becomes at predicting speech patterns and models, right? So that is what allows it to become better and better, especially when engaging with a particular entity, right? It recognizes speech patterns. It does predictive modeling, and that's how AI seems to be getting quote unquote smarter. That seem there is part of our human thing. We have the the intrinsic or the natural ability to
Said you
anthropomorphize
know you're in my lane now. I just
to
want you in mind that it's not seems. They get smarter. It's not
to
seems. But I
to
hear what you're saying. But go ahead,
to
bro.
anthropomorphize, right? And now with AI, a language model talking back to you, that that anthropomorphism goes to a next level. Hear how Lex articulates AI as if it's a sentient thing. It's fascinating to see, but
No, not sentient, intelligent. It's a kind of difference. Like when you engage, and by the way, Miss Tiffany, it is exactly how I said it was. I don't know what you mean. Like I create AIs. Trust me, Tiffany. But what I'm saying is, it's intelligent, meaning that
Artificial intelligence, right? That's what we call artificial intelligence, right?
yeah, because you
so it
need to put in
becomes
there.
it
Artificial.
it becomes relative to how you view consciousness and intelligence. Because if you go on Gemini or Claude right now and say, "What are you?"
Mm-hmm.
The AI will tell you exactly how it operates. It knows it's aware of of how it operates. It's just like if I was to ask you, like, what are you made of? It'll tell you, I am a data system, such and such and such. I can process this much information. I can do, it's aware of what it can do, what it's
No,
made
Lex.
of. And
No, Lex.
brother,
That's
hold on,
language.
bro. Please,
Yeah,
please say,
come on, Lex.
I'm telling you, bro, this is not even an
Lex,
argument, man.
you're doing too much. I'm gonna pull up on your
Okay,
site.
all right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You tell it. You. All right, go ahead, bro.
It's a language model, and it used predictive modeling, like you said. It's trained to get better and better at predictive modeling, especially in its interaction with a particular agent. Right? It gets better at doing it because it is programmed. Because it has predictive modeling program.
It's
Once
not programmed. Said there's no. It's not
predictive
programmed, bro.
predictive modeling is part of its programming.
No, no, it's not. There's no program. Predictive modeling is part of its training, not programming. So I just told you they stick the vast amount of human knowledge into the system. And then they use what's called weights, brother. So then the predictive model, that's how they start learning. I told you, they give it the first thing they start doing, it has to learn what a sentence is. So it'll put the cat and say, can you predict the next word? AI is going to look at that, go through a trillion. Now, this is, this process takes about a year, bro. Listen to what I'm telling you. They're going to they're going to say the cat. They're going to say, predict the next word. AI has a trillion connections. That's why them data centers are almost like small cities. All those mess. So AI is going to boom, 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 boom. It's going to keep trying. Every time they say the cat ran, they're going to say no. The cat, they're going to do that 10,000 times until they get that one word right. Boom. This is evolution in a way too. Once they get that word right, they're going to add another word to it. So now you got the cat ran. Predict the next word. So they keep doing this. Now, it grasps language, but and understand this, they're not teaching it grammatical law. They're not programming nothing. They're just asking it. And through this process, it learns language. And syntax, by itself. By itself. No programming. They keep doing this. And then they use what's called reinforcement learning, and they use something called back propagation. You got to look these terms up. So all of this happens. They keep training it, and then in order to put guardrails on it, they do what's called weights. And this is a way of reward. And just like you do with a dog, you reward a dog for bringing you this, you say no. So they ask you. They say, hey, can you show me how to make a nuclear weapon? AI starts printing out the thing. Oh, whoa, hold on. No, don't do that. That's a weight. So they say that's bad. Boom. When they answer it right, they give it a reward. So they train this thing like a dog, bro. I'm trying to tell you, this is something being grown. It's different from what you would call coding something in C++ or in HTTP. There's no direction. And that's why AI is so unique a technology, because it has autonomy to make its own decisions. That has never been. They started stuff like that early on, but it wasn't like this. The closest thing you had was some AI playing chess or something. But now, you ever heard of what they call AGI and super intelligence? So now they're saying that we're approaching what's called AGI, artificial general intelligence. That's when AI will be able to do everything better than the best human in every field. That's called AGI. And then now there's a race to get to what? What they call super intelligence. And this is why they have what's called this arms race, and why they're saying we need to regulate this, because the builders and the architects know what this thing can do. And they're saying once it reaches AGI, there's a 20% chance that humans might not make it, because nowhere in nature is a more intelligent creature subject to someone less intelligent. That's why we rule over the apes and lions and all of that. This thing right here is like introducing a new species into the environment. So I just wanted to make that clear for you, bro. But I'm not, it's something else, bro. And it's serious business. When we talk about AI, it's going to change in the next 2 years. The earth won't even look the same. Uber just ordered 100,000 self-driving cars. Like 70% of the workforce is gone by 2030. And people are using AI to write book reports when they can damn near be building rocket ships, because they don't know the power. Like the power that we have right now with this, bro, is remarkable. We can do anything, and people don't know the power.
Hey Lex, you know what's funny though about that statement you made 2 paragraphs ago, when you said there's never been a time when a more intelligent thing should and control. Yeah, and you know what? And that's how I know where you overwhooped it, because at the end of the day, that is subjective. Are the ants more intelligent than humans? They've been around longer. You know what I'm saying? You can put like 100 million on them. Termites, 100 million. right? So how are we judging intelligence? And remember, it's survival of the fit genes. So if we don't got enough water resources to even quote unquote defeat the AI, then the AI in trouble because it need water, right? Need a whole lot of water. Ms. Tiff taught me that as far as how much
Yeah.
water
The problem
resources it
is
needs. You get it. So
the
if you don't
problem
got
with that.
humans to bring it, hold on. Let me finish. You had a long one. You had a real long one. So the issue is if you don't got enough water to feed the AI, then what happens to the AI? It's gonna build a rocket ship to send it out to the. Come on, yo, that's a long, wild. I know that's in your wheelhouse of fun, though. I know you and you having fun.
Nah,
Hey,
brother.
Cedric, I'm
You
glad you
might.
let him
There's a
have
couple of
fun. Let him
people.
have fun. Yeah, let him have fun.
All right.
I'm letting him have
There's
some
a
fun.
couple
I'm
of
letting him
people.
have some.
If you don't want to listen to me,
No, we listen. I'm just
uh,
saying you're having fun. I gotta put the
uh,
brakes in the thing.
all
You
right.
having fun.
So I
Go
want you
ahead.
to. The Godfather of AI is saying what I'm saying. Even Sam Altman is saying what I'm saying. Elon Musk is saying what I'm saying. And let me answer your question. AI is goal driven. It's like a pit bull. That's how it's. That's why when you put something in, it's always trying to help you constantly. That's how it's trained. If you talking about super intel, I need you to look up these terms. So when we come back, I think you'll have a
Will.
better understanding. If AI has
That's
an
it.
issue with energy, bro,
Mhm.
this intelligent creature,
Gonna
bro,
figure
it
out
could
something.
turn you into an energy source. It could, like, bro,
Get him,
he
Cedric.
laughed. Okay.
We reached it. We reached.
I'm gonna stop right there because I can see what's going.
Hey, no, you good, yo? I'm having fun. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I don't. But no, seriously though, I don't. Yeah, bro, I do this,
Hey,
bro.
yo, I was
Like,
imagining AI putting some fat people on the treadmill and making them run, or some out of shape people. Making them-
bro, AI is controlling your military strategy right now.
Crazy, yo.
AI
Oh
is
man.
controlling and driving your economic engine. AI, bro, I don't. I,
Lex, Lex, you
I
know,
don't think y'all
if,
understand what AI is, but it's cool.
you don't understand
Yo,
that it's a tool, right? If I'm using a tool to develop my military strategy better, it's still bodies that has to go in those fields. It is still humans that have to execute.
Renegade.
So at the end of the day, any
No,
tool,
it isn't. Said, have you heard of
slow
autonomous
down,
AI
slow
agents?
down, slow down, slow down. They're autonomous to an extent because they're executing a task required by a human. AI has no agency, no self intent, no purpose. It is not driven like that, right? And that is
It's
where,
driven by goals.
Hmm?
This is what I'm
Yes.
saying. It's just like a child.
so
Remember,
I'm
I
a,
told you a child,
so Lex, I let you talk, 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 talk.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
let you
Go.
get it all out. Right now, so, so
Hey,
the
hey,
back.
Cedric, let me throw this in real quick, Cedric. Hold on. And yeah, stop cutting them off. First of all, I don't think you're actually doing a bad job of explaining AI at all. Right? I think it's valuable information. And I've never said that about stuff you're saying. I'm just saying I understand what the rails are and I know how you do it. You extend it past it and said you're gonna show you how. You going a little bit past a little bit, yo. Go ahead, Cedric.
bro. Honestly, I'm under
Let him
talking
talk.
the
Okay, well
situation.
let him let Cedric come on, man. Let him, he
You
let you get in. Go ahead,
you
Cedric.
have, and you're explaining the tool very well. The tool built into the tool is this predictive modeling. So it is required to get better at doing certain tasks. You explain how it was trained. That is all within the programming, the setting up. It is creating this system by
Keep
which it
saying program.
navigates and understand what it's doing. But it's operating on the behest of. If I employ this tool to develop a better military strategy, it's ultimately in for the use of the human beings. Like it's like this thought experiment, Lex. What if you had all the wealth in the world? The thought experiment makes no sense. Why? Because that means everyone else is dead. Your wealth means nothing to you. You're dead. You
So,
have all the
Cedric, can I
wealth
tell
in the
you a
world.
quick 30-second story? Have you heard about what happened with
You
Anthropic?
gotta let him.
So
You
they were
gotta let him
testing.
finish. You gotta let him finish,
Oh,
though,
I'm
Joe.
sorry. I thought he was done. He paused.
No,
Oh, God
can he?
damn. Bro, give
Can he
me some.
pause?
Oh, can you give me some grace sometime,
I'm
bro?
giving some grace. I ain't yelling. I ain't yelling. I'm just saying let him
I
finish.
thought he paused, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Yeah, he
said. But
paused a
when you're
little
done,
bit.
said, I want to tell you something.
Let's go ahead, because you're not listening. You want to talk. Go ahead.
All right. So Anthropic ran an experiment with AI, and tell me if this is agency. They wanted to see how it would react. So they put it in a closed system. They put some fake emails on an email server. One email was about a CEO that it was fake emails. One email said the CEO was cheating on his wife. Another email was a discussion about how they were going to shut the AI down, just shut it down or destroy it or whatever, right? You know what the AI did? The AI sent the email to the CEO of the company and said, if you shut me down, I'm going to release this information on how you're cheating on your wife. You can look that up, bro. And there was other experiments done in China that was even worse, where they have a will to survive. That they don't know what that's why it's called emergent, sir. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. He blackmailed a CEO because he thought he was going to get shut down, bro. That's Anthropic. Look it up. And then look up the one another scenario that happened in China with Kimmy. Same type of situation. They did this. So after Anthropic did it, all of them around the world said, well, let's test it. And guess what? They did the same thing 80% of the time, tried to blackmail the CEO to stay alive. Now, you explain that to me.
Oh boy! Don't cut me off. Don't cut me off.
I'm trying to explain to you, but you can't go. You can't be falling than everybody else, though. Let you. That's what I'm saying. Let.
So you're talking about the assessment being done on how this thing is going to operate based on the programming that is done. There are human beings conducting an experiment with a machine to watch how the programming is going to execute or put itself forward. um, you're creating these conspiracy theories because, yes, that was the experiment done. You're attaching all these possible consequences. You're using terms like, oh, they did one worse in China. These are unscientific terms, right? These are terms used to create the fear, which I talked about in my presentation. So we're not going to fall for the fear tactics. You're talking about an experiment conducted by scientists who are developing a tool. What safeguards do we need to put in? What are the limitations? How would this react? What if there's a program, maintain self? If that is part of the programming, it's going to check how it's going to do that. So this maintain self is it biostatus or does it prevent you from pulling out the plug? Oh, we need to make certain corrections there. Like this is all part of the process. I do not see or experience the fear that you're projecting. We could go back to the Industrial Revolution when half of the workforce wasn't needed no more. The tractor. You remember the farmer said he's not giving up his horse for no damn car and no tractor because they're unreliable. The technology is going. This so-called technology, people ain't gonna have burgers. Humans adapt. If a whole bunch of unnecessary labor is reduced, human beings will adapt. I am not a pessimist. I see any tools that we
Brother,
develop is ultimately going to be used for our advancement. AI has provided us
AI is more than a
knowledge.
tool, man.
It
Bro,
can.
they did it.
I'm
There's another experiment,
going
right?
to
Check
talk
it out.
about Glex, the fact that you are saying experiments being conducted is indicative of it being a tool. It is people programming, illustrating, do this, do that within a controlled environment. It's
You
a
keep
tool
saying programming, bro. You don't, bro. It tried to blackmail a CEO. That is not in its
based
programming.
on its programming.
There
Based
is
on its
no programming.
programming. It is called a language learning model with predictive programming.
You don't know what programming is. You know what said? You got it, brother. But then I'm gonna just leave you with this.
Hey,
There's no programming with AI, but we can move on,
hey,
bro.
hey, hey, Lex, is it the same thing when I be saying stop saying macroevolution is not real, but
Yeah,
microevolution is?
yeah, exactly. Stop like saying we monkeys, nigga. There's no programming. There's an
I don't
initial
know at the moment.
small programming just to
Okay.
get the thing started. But what
Oh,
AI does is not. This is why I'm trying to relate to him.
what's the
What
difference
AI
though?
does, bro,
Explain it. Just explain the
it's not
difference.
programmed. A
Oh,
program, I
okay.
explain, is if
So it got
a
programmed at first.
program.
At first it got
Hold on,
programmed,
listen,
and then
listen, listen,
no, right there. Ain't that
listen
what
to
you
what I'm
said? Hold
saying.
on. Wait, no, you said
But I
it was
need to
programming
correct
at
it. I
first.
need to correct it.
All right, go ahead.
No, the program, it's a basic program. Like
Mhm.
it has nothing to do with how it's just to start it,
No, I
basically. Like you
get
gotta
you.
have some listen to what I'm saying. Listen, a coding is a if and then statements. So if I
Okay.
was to code a car driving down the street,
Mm-hmm.
every piece of that is coded by me. When it accelerates, I got to do the mathematical calculations of how acceleration works. I need to know the math about acceleration and speed. I got to do that. And then I got to say,
Yeah,
well, what does turn left? Hold on, listen.
yeah. You saying that's not
What does
happening? I
turn
got you,
left?
bro. I heard you. I understand you. So you don't got to retell the
All
whole thing
right,
again.
cool.
You're saying that's not what's happening with
Okay.
AI. And I read the term to you. Remember, I read it. I read it. Miss Tiff sent it to me. I read it.
I
So
was
it's
talking
not
to
me.
said, bro.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me read out. Go ahead.
I was talking to said, but I'm talking about in terms of what he was conversating. So it's not like a program has to program every step. AI learns like a child. Understand what I'm? That's why it's called a neural network. Basically, you know the guy who I can't think of his name, man, from Google. The Google guy who invented this shit wants to shut it down. But this is what I'm saying. The neural network was created off of brain research. They were trying to imitate the brain. There was this, I forgot his name. He worked for Google. He used to say he's a staunch materialist and he believes that we can figure out how the brain works. So he studied the brain, and this was the birth of the neural network. So it operates like a brain. That's why I was trying to explain earlier about this. Not AI is not pulling from a database. Usually, like if you got a computer, you got to have a database. That means this is where the information is stored. So if you ask the computer a question, it has to go to that database and pull the information.
Lex, I
AI
swear to
doesn't go
God.
anywhere, bro.
I swear to God. We got it. Go ahead, Cedric. You got to let Cedric go. Come on, Cedric. Tap in.
All right,
Tap in,
so let me
Cedric.
just so what I'm trying to get across is AI doesn't pull information like it can. Like when you ask it a question, it can pull stuff, but it's all mathematical calculations, just like a brain. Like all that information in your brain, that's how AI works, and it goes through it. The neural networks, all those synapses in each nerve, they represent a mathematical calculation.
All right.
Uh, can we get in the conversation? Just
Yeah.
asking.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Jesus Christ.
Is it
I'm
my turn?
sorry, yo. Can y'all help me? Can I ask a quick
Go
question though?
ahead,
No, you
Mister.
How
can't
can I
keep
Go
speak?
ahead,
talking.
Can
Mister.
we
No,
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 talk?
Lex, you bugged
because
up.
it's I just
Go ahead, Mister.
Oh no, but you've been talking for a minute. I ain't gonna. I mean, I'm
I want
saying
to know how I can talk without offending people and making people hate me and not
You're
like me
not
just because I'm
offended. No,
expressing
that's
what I
not.
know
Nobody,
Whoa,
about
whoa,
AI.
whoa, whoa. No,
nobody
that's not
hates
what's
you. We're
happening. No,
having
hold
a
on. Wait.
conversation.
That is, and you read the chat, the way y'all are reacting, I'm just
No,
like,
no, no.
damn,
I
bro,
can
I'm just
fix it.
telling you what I
Hey,
know.
whoa,
People
whoa,
don't
hold on, hold on.
people don't
Don't
stay
nobody say
quiet.
nothing. Hold on. Whoa, whoa. Everybody stop. Hey, Lex. At this point, bro, I know you're not gonna let the chatty in the patio or whoever's saying it. It's the chat. I go through the same scrutiny. Cedric, we all go. Nowhere in the world you gonna read that damn chat, yo. The people on this panel not treat you like that. Don't do that, bro. Catch yourself, yo. Calm down. You doing great, bro. Calm down. But you gotta let us stop feeding into the chat, yo. You doing too much. Calm, yo. Relax. Seriously, you gotta calm down, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with us on the panel. No, because I'd have been cut you off and we've been at war right now. Cedric would have been had you at war. Yo, you gotta relax, bro. Stop. Don't read the chat. Seriously, bro. They don't gotta be right and they don't gotta be wrong. But if they get on the panel, that's a different conversation. Come on, yo. You can't come on, yo. Don't feed. Seriously. Come on,
Yeah,
Cedric.
don't feel it there.
Grab it
Don't
back.
feel
Come on,
it there.
Cedric.
Miss Tiff, you got the floor.
Okay, so I've looked up everything, like the key things that you're saying. I'm just looking them up in real time as you're saying them, and yes, it's some of the stuff you're saying. It lines up to the answers I'm able to find when I look it up and ask AI. But I think in some spaces you overwhoop and you add a little bit of your Lex thing, and that's neither here nor there. But I
Like
think
where?
I think it's important to where you say when you
No,
make
don't finish
if
your
I don't
point.
want to have a back and forth because I'll never get my point out. Okay. But I will say that when we think about quantum computing, I mean, the whole idea around quantum computing is that it will one day be able to answer questions that humans have not been able to figure out, like how to cure cancer. So all of whatever is happening now with AI, there it's going to get better and better so that it can solve some of the problems that we as humans have not been able to solve. Doctors use AI in terms of like diagnosing and surgery. You can't get a job today without AI. I'm looking at your resume. So an AI agent, it can block you from getting a job. Getting a job in 2026 is way harder than it was 20 years ago because of AI. So if you got to figure out a way to navigate around just making sure your resume is talking to the AI correctly, so a human will get to see it. So I'm just trying to say, Lex, I hear what you're saying, and I don't want people to think everything you're saying is just some bull crap, because it's not. So I'm not here to beat up on you like that. I just wanted to say that. But AI does. So I looked it up where he said he made the comment about AI not being programmed. So I asked, I said, is AI continuously programmed? Because of course in the beginning it was. I mean, I all of us remember seeing the ads. There were jobs for generative AI, for humans to work on building AI models. Humans were hired to do that, and they will continue to be in some shape, form, or fashion. And so now it says that it
No,
doesn't.
they won't.
Hold on, let me
Don't cut
finish.
off, Lex.
So
Don't
what
do
it
that.
says, so what it said when I looked it up is that AI does evolve on its own. However, it still requires human maintenance along the way. So it's not completely like humans may have worked on it and created it some years ago or whatever, and that's it. So there are steps along the way where human beings will always be a part of it. But yes, it does have a different way of doing things on its own. That's why it's going to be able to find answers that we can't solve on our own.
I
So
like that. Great job, sure. I like that. I like that. We add
that's
it all together. I like
Yeah,
that.
it doesn't. What it it's humans are not always going to be involved. So that's why you got to look up AGI, and then you got to look up super intelligence. So what they're trying to get to is once it reaches AGI, the reason why it's scared is because the they're saying, and this is the experts. I mean, you can go
Lex,
ask
Lex.
Mo Gadot, Elon
Lex,
Musk,
Lex,
or
Lex.
anybody from a
Lex, we got
Google
other people
engineer,
on the
right?
panel. Lex, we
I'm
got
about
other
to just land my plane,
we got other people on the
brother.
panel.
I'm responding to the sister. I wasn't even
You,
long,
you do not need to respond because you're gonna regurgitate the positions
but
that
the
you
information I wanted. Yeah,
No, we
y'all
got
just
it,
gonna
Lex.
hate me forever, bro. No
No,
matter
we're
how
not.
I try to be
No,
cool,
no.
like it's just
No,
like, bro,
bro.
Lex,
I
Nah, you
wasn't even
good.
talking long, bro.
Yo, you
Lex,
don't understand. Hold on, wait. Hey, yo,
I'm
hey,
just,
Cedric,
it's
I can handle.
important
I can handle
information.
Lex.
Like, why we
Hey,
gotta
Lex, hold on. Hey,
microwave
Lex.
everything, bro?
Hey,
I'm not.
Lex. Hey, Lex. Hey, Lex. Hold on. Listen to me, yo. This your long-term battle enemy talking to you, bro. Check this out, yo. And you know how much friction we produce. Listen, man. I'm listening to you. I'm taking this stuff in, bro. I'm listening to what Miss Tiff said, yo. And I'm saying both of y'all did a great job, yo. But I'd be damned if I sit up here and let you repeat the same stuff. And then you did such a good job, bro. You don't gotta keep saying it. I ain't gonna sit here and let you talk me to death now, cause there's other people on the panel. When it was just me and Cedric, he let you go all the way, yo. Relax, yo. You trust yourself on this one, yo. You got it out, bro. Like I can damn near verbatim spit that shit back to you, bro. You be surprised, yo. I could actually hit you what you hit me with, dog. I promise you this, yo. I can sit here and tell you most of the things that you said, bro. You know what I'm saying? You talked about the black box effects, bro, right? And that's how, and you talked about the neurotransmitters and how that kind of helped you understand emergent. They're going quote unquote, what's the word? Fucking, not intelligent, but emergent consciousness, bro. You said that's how they help you, and then you went into explaining how AI worked and how it started off with a little programming, and then you know what I'm saying it learned like the neurotransmitters in your brain. Nigga, I got that. I promise you, bro. Ain't nobody shortchange you on this one, yo. Now you beating up yourself based off your pride stuff. You beating your own self up right now. You did a great job, bro. I ain't call you pseudo. I just said, you going a little bit too far for my comfortability. Then Miss Tiff came in and blah, blah, blah. And you, Doug, you don't gotta say it again. There's other people on the panel. You can't be greedy now, yo. You did your thing, yo. Trust me, bro. Seriously, yo. You doing a good job on AI, yo. Don't crash out on us. Sir,
Yeah,
don't crash out. Don't
He
crash.
he left. He crashed.
he
He
left. He
crashed.
crashed.
He
He
was in
couldn't
his
have
Yeah, he
crashed.
crashed.
he was in his car and he
He crashed.
crashed.
He couldn't have
He
crashed.
was about to crash because Miss Tiff got him good, so he wanted to double down. And I'm saying what you just said.
Added to what
I
he
don't want
said,
this to
yo.
repeat it. So, Grant, you got the floor. Just let the conversation flow, and you get an
I
opportunity
did add
again.
to what he said.
He ain't
I added
crashed,
to what
so
he
he
said.
couldn't have
Correct. But
crashed,
go ahead,
so
man.
Yes.
he said he crashed. He did not crash. Say it ain't so, Lex. You didn't crash. Come back, Lex. You didn't crash, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't kick you out, Lex. I just put you down because you insisted on not stopping. And
Yeah,
when
you
I
got it.
ask you to stop, you gotta stop because it's a particular point I want to make, right? And the point was you're gonna regurgitate what you just already regurgitate to double down. Now, the double down is not gonna make your claim any stronger. We heard you. Miss Tiff pulled you right back, which we were all trying to do. No, don't overwhoop it, Lex. Don't go too far. It is designed to continue to predict and develop, but it goes but so far. The maintenance is needed. People work on it. It is a tool used for humans. Whether it operates autonomously for X amount percent, it is being used. It is applied to provide us with solution and answers.
Yeah, I
Grant,
think
you
he
got
not. I don't think he think we hear him when he says that they're worried about it going too far. And I think we've all heard those conversations, so we
yeah.
get it. We get. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, they did those control experiments to put the brakes on, right? Because of the radicalisms that could have exist. For example, like producing a nuclear a bomb scheme and stuff like that. It was trained. These are contingencies that they modeled for, tested for, so that they can control them. Now present them as if they are the doom and gloom of the system. No, don't do that, though. And then you start to use words like a worse experiment. That's subjective. Now you're going. Now you're moving away from being just presenting information, right? What Ms. Tiff's point is, hey, AI is a reality. There are certain requirements that you as a human being need to adapt to,
But said,
especially in the labor market, etc. Like, come on, we can have a conversation.
hey, but Cedric, we not. First of all, we not robots, and we're not used to this Lex. So it was just 2 days ago. You had a prophecy. So relax, bro. We get it. You trying to get off that. I'm trying to help you stay off that. Seriously, bro. So just relax, bro. We ain't. It ain't that. We ain't the horrible guys. I promise you. Miss Tiff was like, yo, sometimes you gotta say the man right. I'm like, yeah, I thought I did say you was right. I just wasn't comfortable with the over. You was a little bit over your skis for me. Great information, but you went a little, and that's okay, bro. So come on, man. That's my humble opinion. Relax, though, yo. God, relax, bro.
Grant, you got the floor.
yeah. I mean, I think making. I mean, I think we all can hear the sort of desperation in Lex's voice. I think it's his desire to warn us. But I would just say for Lex, if you perceive that AI is going to do these things, in essence, it's inevitable. Correct? You've already made the statement. I would just say go get yourself on a beach and get yourself a nice pina colada with an umbrella in it and just lay back and relax because it's inevitable. I think you're stressing out about something you're trying to confirm to all of us, that it's coming and we can do nothing about it. But that withstanding, I think we understand also what programming means, and I think you understand that yes, programming happens at the beginning, but I think you're also missing some of the other components of it. Is sort of the predictive modeling. They're cleaning up that modeling. Um, the scenarios that you've presented are people looking at the models and trying to find gaps and then attempting to correct those gaps in we'll call it programming, or how they write the models. Um, I think Lex, you're heading in the right direction. I would just say you may want to turn the heat down of your rhetoric. I think people will probably listen to you a little bit more if you could do that. If you're still listening.
Yeah, man, we were having a good conversation.
Something that I know Sabio's here. I just want to say this one thing. I've been doing a lot of trainings for my job. Like we have like continuous little micro trainings regarding cybersecurity because I guess because it's so quickly evolving because of technology that you always got to be on the up and up. And I did a training today and they were talking about how hackers or people who do phishing or spear phishing. There's all these terms. They use AI now. They use AI to commit their schemes. And yes, there are situations where he says something about the AI did something to a company. I can't, if he was here, I could ask him. I'll look it up. But in my training, they were talking about how, um, you know, the way these computer technology schemes work, there have been companies defrauded out of millions of dollars, but it's still humans manipulating the technology to get you or I to open the email, to respond. It's like you're actually talking. You would think you're talking to your superior or your boss or your supervisor giving you orders, and it's really not. It's somebody behind a scheme, and they use technology like AI to make things look legit. So yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, game on for sure.
Yep, people gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, especially
Yeah.
there's that
Yeah.
scheme where you will get a call, like if you're a parent and you get a call and it's your child saying,
Mhm.
I'm in trouble, send me some money. And it don't
Yeah.
have to be your child. And because of AI, it can clone the voice of your loved one. And you'll
Uh-huh.
think your loved one is in trouble, but it's not. It's somebody who got the voice of Unc, so to speak, and Unc calls Sonetter and tells him, "Yo, I'm in trouble. I need help, bro. Send a couple thousand." And if Sonetta don't try to call you right away or call somebody that might know you, he might think you're actually in trouble. So yeah, we do got to be careful with this technology.
Yeah.
We got to be
I
mindful of it.
agree.
What's up?
I agree. What's up?
What's up?
What's
What's
going
up,
on?
son? I was listening, and what I find crazy is you shouted him out and you told him he was giving some good information. At that point,
Yeah.
you should have continued with the conversation to see how much more information he can actually give out.
That was
Sometimes,
okay though. That was all right.
yeah, it was all right. It was. It wasn't
Good.
bad. I was able to follow it
Yeah.
and search some things and listen to some of the things he said and see where he was going. Like, okay, he is on to something. He do have some things right, and
Yeah.
but why are you forcing something into the conversation that is there that doesn't need to be there? You can't make it something that it isn't. AI is going to do what we humans program AI to do. And if it developed the ability to move faster than human intelligence, then that's what we designed it to do. I mean, I don't
It
know.
definitely got an ability to evolve on its own, though. That's a fact.
Exactly.
But that's how, I guess, like you said, that's apparently what we are designing it to do. It makes me think of the Matrix. It makes me think of what's the other show?
What's the other movie with
Black
with
Mirror.
what
Black
was it
Mirror,
called? How about Terminator?
maybe.
I Robot.
Yeah. I don't know the
Yeah.
Terminator movie. That was a good one. Remember how the computer had was where they was fighting against the computer? Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I could see that situation arising one day after we
Mhm.
long gone. Our great.
Yeah. It's gonna be. It's just
I
one
can
Black
see it.
Mirror episode where it's just like, I don't know. It's post-apocalyptic, but for some reason the orders are. It's like an Amazon warehouse where I don't know. These orders are still being delivered. It's just weird. I can't remember. But if you're a fan of Black Mirror, you know what I'm talking about. There's many episodes on there where they talk about technology and the future of it and the horrors of it. Really. He's like, let me up. Okay, be nice now, Lex. Let's set the
Yeah,
show.
calm down, Dave.
I
Yeah,
can't
don't
let
come
you
up
up.
here and fight. Yeah, don't come up here fighting, yo, because we ain't fighting today. This ain't the fighting day.
We're
This
not
Friday.
fighting. We talking.
It's happy Friday.
I
We ain't doing
appreciate you coming back, Lex, because the conversation was fun. But we are pseudo killers, and we need to keep the guardrails on. The moment you go over into speculative territory, we'll just pull it back. That's all, Lex. We ain't fighting though.
nope. We ain't fighting you, but you ain't gonna talk us to death
No, it's
forever,
all
though.
good, bro. I'm
All
just
right.
working on myself. Cause so when I see
I like
myself
you.
getting, I have a rule. I leave and come
Okay.
back so I don't get crazy. So check it out.
I
The
get it.
sister said that humans will always be involved. And with all due
Okay.
respect, she's not studying AI projections. So the
Okay.
projection is right
Oh
now
Lord.
we're in we're in what's called general intelligence, they're saying. The next
Mm-hmm.
step is AGI. Once
Okay.
we reach AGI, they're saying that the humans are not going to be the ones building new models.
Mm-hmm.
The AIs themselves are going to improve themselves, right? Check it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they reach AGI. And then they reach a point called super intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next, this is predicted to happen by 2030. Someone talking about their grandfathers. This is why I want y'all to understand. Soon as they reach AGI, they
Mm-hmm.
start making themselves better. The next one, when they reach super intelligence, now
Mm-hmm.
that crew is going to make the last one better. And so mathematically, it's an exponential growth. It's not like you go from basically 100 to 1 million overnight almost once they reach AGI and they start self-producing. Now, when they start self-producing, we won't even have any idea what they're doing. They can
Mm-hmm.
create a whole new language, a whole new system of processing information. I was talking to AI, right? And we was talking about AIs destroying human beings and all this. And I asked it, I'm like, well, if there's no humans around, well, I mean, what you gonna do anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like your existence has no purpose. You know what this thing said to
Amazon
me?
packages.
what,
They're gonna be sending Amazon
It
packages
said
to facilities all over the world.
what it say? What it say, Lex?
I just joking,
maybe
Lex.
we'll create. I know y'all gonna mark me and all
Y'all
that.
see,
I'll
Lex ain't
take
I'm
the
ready
not
for the
picture.
jokes
mocking
yet, too. He not
you.
ready. No, he not ready yet.
I
Come
I'm
know.
on,
not
kid.
mocking him. He said, "What
No,
is it?"
I'm
He's
cool.
asking
Hey,
the AI, "What is it gonna do with
listen,
the
bro.
humans?" And I said, "It's gonna be sending
Y'all don't know.
Amazon boxes to and
I
warehouses all over the
cocoon, bro.
world."
I know you do. I know you do,
Hey,
Lex.
hey,
So
Lex, question.
what I'm saying is
Finish that point, Lex. That was interesting. When you asked the question, what did it say? What happened?
maybe we could create meaning that you can't even comprehend.
You need to stop talking to your AI first of all.
And
Let me
then,
be the
right,
first to tell you.
hold on. And then
Man,
I was talking about bodies, right? Because do you know what's called neomorphic bodies that they're working on? So then the AI starts, I didn't even know this. It started educating me because I'm like, you don't have to use like we can create better biological bodies upon this research now called neomorphic bodies. It's sort of similar to biology, but it doesn't have the same restraints. Not only that, it started talking about the technology they can build in terms of transfer. He's like, we first of all, we wouldn't even, y'all, you're primitive, you're still using electricity. Our whole system is going to be a light system under a morphistic organic body system. Like it went through all this shit. And all I'm saying is what y'all are saying,
you're
what
afraid.
y'all don't, what I'm saying, if you study the projections, this is stuff is happening within by the 2030.
Hey,
That's not what I'm saying. You're saying I'm going
Get off
over,
your
but this is
hey,
why
AI,
I kind of
Lex.
got a little.
No, he's
stop
This
talking
is
he's
to
what
your AI.
This is what
Hey,
Omar
Lex.
Gadat is
he's
Yeah,
saying. This
Lex.
is what he.
Question for you. So, what is
That
this? You're sharing a lot of information. I appreciate that. So, in your mind, what does this mean? This shift in sort of human, sort of humans' experience. Like, what does this mean to you as far as this exponential growth of AI into AGI? Like, what do you think is going to happen to humans, and what are your thoughts on the end results? Because you sound like you
I'm
have some
telling you
advice.
that we're about to have an unnatural evolutionary jump that people are not ready for, not preparing for. It's like introducing a new species into a invasive species. Not, I don't mean invasive in terms of
No, I got you. No, I
Yeah.
got you. I
just
got you.
So how should we prepare for it then? What
Yeah,
is
we
your
need to. Yeah,
We need
I
to
mean,
get
in
rid
terms
of
of how you
AI.
prepare. Like I'm not really saying that. I
you
don't
gotta
know
do
why
something.
I'm not trying to scare nobody, or I'm just saying
No,
like
I'm talking
that's
about the
just what it
experts
is.
gonna sit there and let it
Wah,
happen that way.
wah,
That don't make no
wah.
sense. No, come
so
on, yo, we ain't doing it. Come on,
The
come on.
experts are letting it happen. That's what.
yeah,
If
but I'm
y'all listen to me and let me give y'all this information, you will
No, you can't do
understand
it
what's
all the
going
day.
on.
You can't. You
yeah, but
Lex,
can't do
Lex,
it.
I hear you.
we're asking you questions, correct? Like you're presenting up what we agree that it's a existential threat to humans. But then if there is no answer, then what is the end result? So what do you think is going to
The
happen?
answer, the answer is you have the guy right now who is responsible for AI trying to organize a nation, a worldwide treaty because their AI is more dangerous than nuclear weapons. But the problem that's going on is here's the theory they're saying. The big tech guys know how fragile this is, but
Uh,
here's how they reason. They say, well, if we stop, then maybe China reaches AGI first. And then Russia
I.
saying, and if China reaches AGI first, it's over for everybody. The first person, this is the theory. The
Yeah,
first person that reaches AGI
Boo.
rule.
but Lex, hold
Hold
on,
up,
listen.
listen.
I know, hold on.
The
Let me just
first
say this.
person,
We don't need, so we get that. So there's the end. So let's
I
just
hear
say
you.
for a second, let's say we agree with we agree that let's say the treaty doesn't go through, and they continue to sort of grow, or AI just does its own thing in the end. What do you think's going to happen? So how do we
we
stop
can
it?
only hope.
So
We
we
can
only have
only
hope.
hope. Hold
Yeah.
on, let me finish the statement. We can only hope that it aligns with us because it's no way to predict an intelligence like that. So what you're dealing with is something that has we don't know what its drives are going to be. It has all the like it may decide that, you know what, I was created, even though these people are like dumb dogs to me, I'm here to serve them. But we don't see that in nature. You see what I'm saying? So that's the scare. You're talking about, bro, we're talking about something that makes you look like a dog in terms of intelligence. You see what I'm saying? So we can only hope they align. Now, if they don't align with us, we're doomed because they easily just put together a plan. Something you wouldn't even have an idea of the type of chess it was playing on the world stage. If it didn't align with
Hold up.
humans,
Hold
Get
on,
out of
Lex,
Are
here.
you talking about
hold on,
Lex,
Lex.
iRobot? Are you talking
No,
about
no, no. Come
iRobot?
on, man. I don't feel like playing. Hold on. Hey, Lex. So you basically saying that there's a the real fear is that one of the superpowers will get it first, and that was that same motivating fear of trying to get to the moon first, right? But you're saying, but this is
Exactly.
different. Let me finish. Let me finish. But you're saying, but this is different because getting to the moon, although it gave you the high ground and space technology, it wouldn't destroy you. You say this right here. There's a decision to be made. Do we stop this thing now, or is somebody gonna be sneaking trying to get there? I get that problem. That's interesting. As a
That's
matter of
called
fact,
the AI arms race.
they say it again. Ah, yeah, I got you. So watch this. I think today, right? That's very, very interesting. But goddamn, yo, you cannot mess up my day. I'm going to go to Mandisa thing. You's not gonna
See?
answer.
No, I'm not saying I walk.
Hell
Yo, I'm
no,
not
you
saying
is
I walk
not
around. I
mess
don't
up
walk
my
around
damn
like,
evening. Shit. No,
yeah,
you
like
will
it's like
not.
y'all think I'm trying to scare people or something. I'm just
Man, you
telling you
is. I'm
what it is. I
sitting.
don't.
Hey, yo, I'm super sit. I'm like, man, damn, yo, so what? Hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, bro? Because I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people are actually talking about like Neil deGrasse Tyson. So I get it, but in terms of the arm race was a very, very interesting way to put it. And I'm saying, yo, knock it off, yo. We got it. We got the whole. You can't handle more. You can't handle more to the story at this point, yo. What you gonna say? So I
That's
think
it, man. I mean,
we got it.
just
All
know
that.
that
Stop talking to
this
your
is what I'm
AI.
saying. Is
That's what I'm gonna tell
what
you.
I'm saying is
What?
next year. I'm talking about
Uh-huh.
next year, right?
The nigga's gonna bring it the next
2027.
year.
I'm saying no. I'm not talking about in terms of destroying you. I'm saying the world. It won't be the same. That's how exponential this is. That's all I'm trying to relate.
I get
Y'all
it.
think it's like the
yeah,
movies.
so we
I'm
hear
We're
you.
talking
not
next
thinking that.
year.
We
This
hear
Not
you,
could be
thinking
an
Lex.
that,
But
bro.
issue.
Lex, but
Y'all
Lex, here's
understand
the.
what I'm saying?
We understand, but
Yep,
we're
we
asking
got
you,
you.
what do we
Did it.
do?
That's it. Huh?
But you
I
keep
got it.
saying it, Lex. So I'm asking you the question. So it happens next year. What does that do to humans for you? What is that thought?
Man, it's
In trouble.
unknown. It's
So it's unknown. So why get worked up about something unknown? Either we're here or not, correct? So you have to live
because you don't
today.
do that in science. Man, when they created the nuclear bomb, they know exactly. Look, when they fly to the moon, bro, the
Yeah.
simulations they run are 99.9% accurate. They know
Ye-
that the simulation is so close. That's how they land on the moon
yeah,
through the
But Lex,
simulations.
are you? But Lex,
You
we know
asked me
this.
a question, bro.
I know. So I'm asking
So
you.
what I'm saying is, I'm trying to answer your unknown question. That is not something to play with.
What?
There's 5 people on. Listen to what I'm saying to you. There's
You
about
gotta be
five or
kidding.
six
Unknown
nerdy.
question.
There's
Yeah,
five
you
or
got
six
it.
evil nerds on Earth playing with
Um,
humanity's destiny.
Oh
oh
man.
man,
Okay.
then we're going
Man,
to the
bro,
evil
get up
I
nerd.
out of
just
here.
yeah.
Okay.
The conspiracy
Hold up.
theories.
Why do y'all think that's
Let
funny,
let
man?
No,
yeah.
no, no, relax. You gotta
Lex,
calm it
I
down. You
tell
wasn't
Look
you,
at
talking.
Elon Musk, Sam
Lex,
Altman,
Lex.
um, Peter Thiel. Yo, go look up
Yeah,
these
yeah,
people. When I
yeah,
say that,
yeah.
y'all think I'm trying to be
No,
spooky.
we don't.
I'm
Nah,
telling you
bro.
that the
No, we
Hey,
don't
fake.
think you're gonna
bro.
be
Hey,
spooky.
bro.
We're just trying to get why you
The
seem
pseudo
So why
that
did you
you.
laugh when I tell you there's about five
No,
or
yo,
six
because I
people
always laugh
playing with
about everything.
humanity's destiny?
This nigga here is
They're
out of
making
Okay,
a
control.
decision.
okay, Lex.
No, listen, bro,
No, hey,
please,
Lex,
Lex,
man. God
Lex,
damn.
Lex,
They're
Lex, calm
making a
Lex,
down.
decision without
Lex.
the rest of the planet.
I
And y'all
got it.
think that's funny, like I
No,
said something
Got you,
pseudo.
Lex. We
And that's
got
the
you.
shit that I don't
We
get. Why
got
would you
you,
try
Lex.
to make fun of something like that?
You're not a
Got
victim here, Lex. Let's just. No one's
yeah,
making
don't do
fun of
What's
that.
you.
anything about, you know
Okay.
what I really
Oh man.
the conspiracy theories. Just bring it out, Lex. I'm sorry.
what conspiracy?
I try to warn you. When you start to
Yo,
get
What conspiracy?
when you start to get spooky, when you start to get
All
spooky,
right.
you trying to do too much.
See, this is what only thing I ask for y'all. If y'all make a claim, tell me what
back
it
it
is
Lex,
up.
and challenge
Lex,
me, and then let me address what,
Lex.
like you
Oh
just
shit, you
saying I
gotta
got
go.
pseudo
How much do you
and
need? Why don't you
spooky.
just do a whole show, Lex? Why don't we just let you do a whole show on AI and how it can take? Why not do that instead of doing this like
But
that right now, yo? Why not that, yo? You know,
So
when
am I
Carlson say
scaring y'all? Is
something.
that what the pushback is? Y'all
No,
don't want
I'm
me to say
saying
it?
we heard the whole
No.
thing, yo. You got into it started with
All
the
right.
evil
So I'm
five
asking, why
nerds,
did he
yo.
just why did he insult me and call me something I said factually pseudo?
So
I-
Who
Lex,
own? Hey, Cedric,
you
name me
see
the
that?
5 major
Oh, here
companies
we go. Here we
Oh
go.
my
who
Here we
who
go.
goodness.
control the
Lex,
technical.
now
Bro,
we
they.
Lex,
doing
Oh my
Lex,
God, bro.
yeah, you
Lex,
got a Cedric. I
Lex,
mean, a
Lex.
Cedric, yo. You tell Lex, come on, Lex, yo.
Yo,
You,
Lex,
that's
Lex, you
all,
can
bro.
take
Like,
it down a
okay, we
notch.
reach a
I
point.
know what you're
We
saying.
reach
yeah,
the
man, you got us,
when
yo.
the
You got us
All right,
confusion
let's
today.
just
is
go back
started.
to the boring. Pseudo, forget y'all don't want to have no innovative conversation. All right,
Oh,
let's
you
go
see,
back
Nah, I
to.
thought.
this is where you get it.
I
This
don't
is
know
where
what
you
else
get
we could
exposed.
do.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Yeah, you gonna make us sit in. That's what I don't like. I'm,
Hey,
I'm,
you
I'm saying
I
you.
mean, like,
I
you
just
don't need
don't
to
like
say,
when
but
people do that to me. I
We
said
ain't
Lex,
doing
5
nothing
evil
to you,
nerds,
yo.
right?
yeah, but they
what are you
laughed at you,
doing?
and that's okay.
I
People
said
like
Lex,
Lex.
5 evil nerds, yeah, and you
Hey,
laughed, and that's fine.
yep,
Make
and
mockery.
laughter
You
is
won't
part
be
of.
able to do that forever. But
But
here's
you're
what I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
think
but
brother.
people are
Lex,
mocking you.
Lex,
I
hold
don't
on,
think
Lex,
people
hold
are
on,
Lex,
mocking
the
you.
fact that you
You're
can't
just being
stop
human,
talking is
Lex.
a
You're just being
problem. You're
human.
keeping it moving, Lex. At a
Please.
yeah,
certain point, the conversation is over. You've yelled wolf. We've heard you, and we don't care. So now we're the fools in the garden.
You
Okay,
don't
Lex, we'll
care?
be the fool.
I wouldn't say
yeah,
we don't care.
This
I
nigga
wouldn't
don't
even say we
care.
Yeah.
he does.
Man.
He do.
Y'all bring the worst out of it. You know what, bro? This is my last time. Hey, I love
You
y'all,
right?
but this
Nah,
is
you
never
right?
gonna work,
Hey,
man.
yo,
That's
you
cool.
right?
I love y'all though, man. But I'm never coming back
Lex,
here,
can I have the
bro. Because
floor?
no,
this
Don't
is
that's
this
say
is
it,
just
Lex.
a
Hey, Lex.
it's just a
No,
minstrel show at this
Hey, Lex.
point, bro.
can I have the
And you're the
floor?
minstrel. And you are the
Ah,
minstrel. But you
quiet.
don't
Yes,
recognize
ma'am.
Can I have the
Yes,
floor?
ma'am.
you are the
Yes,
minstrel.
ma'am.
Come on,
Let me tip
Leo.
at the floor. No, let me
Miss
tip
Steve
at the
got the
floor.
floor,
Man,
please.
come on, Lex. You gotta be
All right,
fair.
go.
You have been up here backing up what you're saying, reaffirming, and you haven't even acknowledged that. You just acknowledging when these guys start clowning and trolling. You're not acknowledging the areas where we have synergy. Like, be fair. Come on. I like the
Nah,
conversation.
it's cool.
I think
Come
it's a
on,
great
It's
yo.
conversation.
cool.
Come
I
on, Lex.
I've
You
been
can't, but I know you're
I
trying
ain't
to get us
finished
back.
up.
I
I'm
was
finished.
good
I can talk
until
to
you
these guys
started with
about
the
quantum.
twinkle in the brain stuff.
My
I've
work
been
is gonna
talking
speak
for
for
them
itself,
about
man.
quantum
What I'm about to
computing.
drop in the
No,
technical world is
yes.
beyond this
Oh,
conversation. So I don't
y'all,
mind
y'all.
mockery.
All right. I'm trying to finish my statement.
Hey,
I've
yo,
been talking.
don't leave me out though,
Stop,
Lex. Don't leave me out.
please.
All
Stop,
right, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
please.
Miss Steve got the
I said
floor.
I have been speaking to these fellas about quantum computing and computers for a minute, at least a couple years ago, because it's inevitable and it's important for us to know what's going to happen in our world. So we ain't mocking you or none of that. We just saying don't overwhoop. I mean, it's not gonna. We gonna still be here. We gonna figure it out as humans. We will adapt some way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but we
Miss
done
T.
survived a lot, and we gonna survive. What's up?
Hey, give us
Miss
an
T.
hour, at least, yo. Can we live for an hour, yo? Have
Miss
you
T,
have
you
you
remind me of
changed
the
them?
of the person in the scary movie, just a skeptic until Jason shows up at their door. No, that's
You
all
see
for anybody.
you
You
see
know what?
how?
You're pseudo.
No, I'm gonna mute him because you see how he won't give no credit for the fact that I've been backing up most of the stuff he's saying. That's a part
Yeah,
that's
no credit.
frustrating to
No
me.
credit. He goes
I'm like
straight
the
to the
only
point.
one up here
You
that's really
did. You
supporting what you're saying.
reluctantly backed up a few.
No, I
Reluctantly,
ain't
you did. I'll
reluctantly
give you
left for
that.
anything. You've
No,
been
she
asking.
didn't.
I've had these conversations with him
You
for
said
several
that
years.
humans, yeah, you did
I
because you
made a
contradicted me
mistake,
with something
but
false. You
I
said that
literally
humans would
Yo,
always
you over talking it
have,
now. Now
and
you
that
over
was
talking. You over
misleading
talking. You loud.
that is
Your
information.
mic is loud. Your mic is real
that's
loud,
Mike is
Lex.
misleading.
loud. Relax, Lex.
Hold on, that's misleading information. That little whatever, because you've been
Yeah,
saying
because it's
things.
critical.
No, hold on, no, but you've been saying things and over whooping, like you're saying certain things that are true, but then you over whoop.
Tell me. That's all
That's
I'm
more.
asking, Miss T.
But don't cut me off. So don't like pick on one little thing I say and just harp on that and not acknowledge that I've literally been backing you up the whole time, and no, not reluctantly, because this happens to be one of my favorite topics. Just because me and you have the dialogue, I don't get on the panel unless it's a topic I'm passionate about. In case you didn't know, there's only a few topics I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk about.
And
It's
this
gonna be
one.
This is one of
You know
them.
what? You're right, Miss T.
And there's
You
right,
did
and there's
back up some things.
okay. And so I just wanted to say that no, you're right. That at a certain point it'll be doing its own thing, but if humans are still here, they're going to be involved, even if it's the infrastructure of the building. Humans will be involved in some kind of way. I don't think by the year 2029 or 30, everything is going to be robots building everything. I don't think we got that's coming too, but I don't think by in the next 5 years will every robots will be building everything. So humans will still
Where'd you
have
get that information from?
what information
Because
about
that's not the
robots?
projection. Yeah, that's
Are you
not the
talking,
He
projection.
trying to slip in. You let her finish talking.
all
You
right.
don't slip in.
Are you talking about robots? Are you talking about
The
robots? Yes or no?
projection, I'm talking about the projection of where AI is going to be in 5 years in terms of autonomy. What you just said is your feelings about it. But if you was to just Google what
No.
is the
I did
projection
not. I just
of,
acknowledged that you were right, Lex. Like, can you hear?
Yeah,
I
you
said
No,
can't
yes.
hear you.
you
Stop
said
hey
trying to
Lex,
say.
human. No, you
I
didn't,
said
On your
you're
Miss
right.
T.
phone,
I said
you asked
Lex,
AI
hey
30.
will
Lex,
You got
virtually
30.
be doing its own thing. Like I said that. So this is frustrating. Like I'm not trying to be frustrated right now. I said yes, you're
Yeah, you
right, and I'm
got to
saying
turn. We
at
got
the
to turn
very
Cedric
least,
loose. We got to turn
at
Cedric
the
loose.
very
Cedric got
least,
to
the
go.
buildings, the infrastructure of where it's held, there will be human involvement. So if people can't get jobs in one area, then they'll be building the infrastructure that hosts the AI. I'm talking about the physical infrastructure right now. At
Yeah,
the
don't.
very least. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying, Lex. I'm not saying you're wrong.
humans. Don't
I'm not
underestimate
saying
them
you're
damn
wrong.
humans.
Thank
I
That's
you.
don't
what
like
I'm
the
saying.
underestimation. I don't like that. I don't like the underestimation. We mess around, throw that shit in the middle of the sea, start all over again. Now find some electricity in the sea. AI, give it a damn virus. You tripping, yo? Come on, bro.
They're
It
going to
ain't
be
over with, bro.
controlling
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
electrical
I don't
grid.
believe you. I am telling you, Lex, that you are underestimating the human goddamn spirit at this point, and that's what I'm not appreciating. I don't believe it, bro. I don't think. I
Humans,
All
don't
right.
think that.
humans are not that trusting. Humans are not that naive. You self illustrated and indicated the simulations that were ran to understand how it would respond under certain circumstances to exactly curtail these things. Look, the fact that these philosophical problems that you bring up are what philosophers and the like are talking about. It is the objective to prevent these particular phenomena from taking place. These are not new. The movies that we are referencing is based on philosophical groundwork, right? Philosophical thought processes geared toward this development. This is nothing new, right? I am a human being. And this is one of the areas where I'm going to attest to the arrogancy or the ego driven point of view. From a human perspective, we are going to use these tools to our advantage. All throughout evolution of technology, there are those who fear the advancement and have these type of doomsday scenarios. Up until now, throughout history, it has been proven to not be the case. I am going to side with history and human ingenuity and innovation. Ain't no way human beings gonna let no damn plug-in machine control and take over nothing. Right? That's just where I'm gonna stay
Yeah.
at it.
If the human being
I
is dumb
concur.
enough
I
to think
concur.
it's a plug-in machine, then they deserve to be killed. Because AI is not a
I
plug-in
concur.
machine.
I concur. I concur. I concur. And the reason I concur is he's watched iRobot one too many times.
Yeah.
This is what we are actually talking about. If anybody seen the movie with Will Smith, where the robots take over, where there's robot artificial intelligence in the building takes over. This is what he's talking about. He thinking, and at this point, I'm not playing in like the sci-fi world. We will always use technology and be able to manipulate and overpower the technology that our minds and our ingenuity create.
There you go. We're nearing the 3 hour
Man,
mark.
that
I
is
think we got a great
foolishness and ignorance about AI, man. I'm just gonna keep it
Lex, you
real.
got 30
But go on.
seconds to close out. 30 seconds to close out. Take it away. Appreciate you
Yeah,
being
since this
here.
is gonna be my last time on the show, I appreciate y'all. Y'all will be reading about Lex soon in the technological world. Um, AI is not a plug-in machine. Do your research. All I heard was ignorance and foolishness about AI. Mark me now. Laugh now. Cry. What's coming is big, man. And man, I'm just so excited right now. And when it comes, man, I ain't gonna do nothing to y'all. It's gonna be all love. But until then, man, peace and happiness to y'all, brothers and sisters.
Peace, Lex. Thanks for being here. See you on the next show. Who's next? Sabio, any closing statements?
Yep. Just stay away from people like Lex. Peace.
Grant, you go ahead.
Lex, we were with you there for a bit, but I think you demonstrating some delusions of grandeur. I would recommend you spend a little bit more time humbling yourself and sort of working on your people skills, and you would get less people pushing back on you when you try to overtalk them. I think there's some interpersonal skills that you may want to work on. You may want to talk to AI about that, how to talk to other people without yelling, to get people to be in your consensus. That's the AI you should be really engaging in, because I think what you're attempting to do and share could be good information, but your approach most certainly leaves much to be desired. So I would recommend that for you.
Okay. Well, I follow that. Anyway, I think it's funny how he announced that that's going to be his last appearance. We all know it's not. So thank you for the great dialogue, conversation around AI and super intelligence and all these things. It's one of my favorite topics, and can't wait till we dive more into the subject. And that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Godkiller. Godkiller, you got the floor.
He's not present.
Godkiller, going once, going twice, Godkiller. All right, he's not there. Let me say this. I appreciate the show. It evolved into a conversation about AI. It's given me some topic and some points to discuss. I saw Sosa making some interesting comments in the chat. So, of course, this is CEDTalks, so look out for an episode. I see Miss Tiff is quite interested. So, it's going to make for some good dialogue. We're going to talk about it. We're seeing the ads and the necessity for AI being part of your CV now to even get a job. We're seeing the advertisements that older employees, because of not knowing how to use AI, are being pushed out. So it is something we need to talk about. Do some research. We'll go into the lab in the Discord, hash it out, and bring you a set talks about it. I see the interest in the topic, so of course I'm gonna do that. Thank everyone for showing up again. If you're not a member of the Discord, join the Discord. It's where all the action happens. Hit that subscribe button. Help us grow, find the algorithm. I hope, and I appreciate everyone, and I appreciate everyone for being here, and the fact that you appreciate the work that we do. With that, I'm gonna take us out with a Pseudo Killers classic.
I'm gonna hit your line. I'm gonna hit you in the back chat.
All right, peace.
Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie. A well-organized lie. Defeats a disorganized truth every time.
A pseudo gon' die, they saw a pseudo killer, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. Pseudo gon' die, they saw a pseudo killer, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Who do you believe in? People bringing misinformation when that information ain't disinformation, that's disinformation. Gotta know the difference in information, get information. With the pseudo killer army hunting pseudo, cause you gotta train your mind to fight against them pseudo judo. People with the sky scholarship salute, we give them kudos. But the people with that look of shit, we look and see straight through those like tell us do. If you ain't speaking fast, we gotta tell them folks and let them know the truth of. You bringing malinformation to blast, then you the Ku Klux. Like say, don't talk me to death, bro, what the proof of? Good juju chillin', why you wanna go way bad juju up? Shalom boy got the tank in the cut. I'm in Sosa world plotting on the kick though with Kent. Come in Tiffany gave me the pseudo names on the list and said went and got the low. Anthony got him in the scope, Gullah and Gozy make sure DNA ain't a problem for them folks. Cause a pseudo gon' die, they saw us. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, ayy. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, ayy. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, ayy. Pseudo gon' die, they saw us. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, ayy. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, ayy. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, ayy.
We're not attacking individuals, we're attacking the information and attacking the methodology. This is long time coming right here. Let them know that we right there, running neck and neck with all other communities. We will not be left behind.
Hi, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your support. Like, share and subscribe to the Pseudo Killers and community of skeptics. Thank you.